and welcome back to Pia Pop, a podcast where I talk about everything and anything, usually pop culture. And today we are on episode number 11. And like I said before when I was talking to Josh, I will be recapping Summer House, the whole season, with my besties, Shirla and Jaleeza. And we will be recapping each episode. This episode is an extra long episode because we're doing a recap of the first 3 episodes of Summer House. And moving forward, we're going to do it weekly. We couldn't do the first 3 episodes one at a time because when Summer House dropped, all 3 of us were on another continent. We were all the way in Africa, for our best friend's wedding that we were in. And that is when Summer House decided to, premiere. But we are going to do a 3-in-1 episode, and then moving forward, it will be weekly for each episode. So enjoy this extra long episode of recapping. And I promise you, we're not going to go into details because we know that you guys have already seen it. So we're really just going to give you our thoughts, opinions, what we thought of the first 3 episodes, and what we expect for the season. And then moving forward, we'll probably do a lot more detail, like breaking down the episode. But this is kind of a warm up for you guys to see how we interact, why I brought my group chat to the podcast, and show you why we are really the Bravo Sleuths. That's what our group chat is called, the Bravo Sleuths. I actually meant that to be a part of our Pia Pop Business. So that was the Pia Pop Business that I was attending to. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my Summer House crew, Shirla and Jaleeza, and we're recapping Summer House, the first 3 episodes. Hello.
Summer should be fun.
So these are my 2 besties, Jaleeza and Shirla. And
hi, guys.
I already introed you guys earlier, but just to reintroduce yourselves, these are my besties. We have been friends for over 10 years, and we have our own little group chat called Bravo Sleuths because we watch everything Bravo. And once I started this podcast, I was like, I don't think I'm going to recap shows all the time, but we really have a fascination with Summer House, and I feel like we have really great takes. And I feel like sometimes we don't see the takes that we talk about in our group chat on the internet. So let's give the people what they really need to hear about Summer House. I said, and they agreed. They agreed to recap all the episodes that they can. So there might be a week or 2 that they're busy, but for the most part, we're gonna ride the whole season out together.
Yeah.
But before we get into Summer House, let's get to know Shirla and Jaleeza so you can understand why their takes are going to be the correct one. What are you currently watching on Bravo?
Bravo? It's
Everything
just only
that's
Bravo?
on.
Truly. All the Real Housewives. What show actually kicked off Bravo for you guys? Was it Vanderpump? No, we watched before Vanderpump because we saw Beverly Hills intro.
Technically,
I'm an OG.
Yeah,
I watched back with Tabitha Salon Takeover, working out.
Queer Eye was on Bravo, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I watched Queer Eye, the original, and then I also was what's it called? With Heidi Klum,
Project Runway.
Project Runway. Yeah,
that was a good one.
I would have to say probably Tabitha maybe had gotten me in, and then when they started doing the whole Real Housewives franchise, I watched every single one of them, and then of course the iconic intro into Vanderpump. And
I know.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite Real Housewives franchise?
It's hard because it's OG Atlanta, because I'm not a fan of Atlanta anymore, and but consistent, I would have to say, since they came on, would have to be Beverly Hills.
I agree. Because I feel like for all of the franchise, with the exception of Beverly Hills, I've tuned in and out. I did miss a couple of seasons with Atlanta. And with all of them, really, there have been some seasons where I've tapped out. I didn't even watch this last season of Jersey. This was the first time I haven't watched a season of Jersey. I would say Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Jersey was the only ones I had watched every single season, but I did tap out for this season.
And we're loyal. So the fact that we ended up tapping out on a season tells you all that you need to know about a franchise, because
it was drowning. It was dead in the water, baby.
You stuck with some things that were bad.
Truly.
Nope.
A lot of New York, even Beverly Hills was questionable there for a minute, but
I almost tapped out. I almost tapped out with Beverly Hills, but they figured their shit out because they had one more dumbass season for me. Like,
that puppy gate. Yeah, and honestly, truly, it's like, because when you talk about like, even like for characters of like what makes you tap out, and I've been trying to figure that out myself. Like, is it the certain characters that make me tap out, or is it like just the franchise in general? And I say like how Jaleeza was like Beverly Hills at one point was not it, and it's probably because I'm not a Lisa Vanderpump apologist, but I like Lisa Vanderpump.
Yeah.
And so like when they had that whole Puppygate thing, it just really, it was a turnoff. And it made you, I hate when they make you realize that you're watching a show. Yeah. Like, like Beverly, like Housewives, we're there for the money. So
Thank you. I'm here to watch rich women, richer than myself, like spend egregiously, unapologetically, and have a mess in between. I'm not here for just lives being destroyed. And that was what
bickering is one thing. Yeah, like bicker, like have that like fun arguments that like is over by the end of the episode, and then like move on to something new. But like dragging this stuff like one issue out for season, like the whole season. That's where I'm like, maybe I stop watching.
Yeah, and not to make this into like a low key Beverly Hills recap, but real quick, to that point where I feel like Beverly Hills is making its way back to what we can enjoy. Like, I know Sutton has gotten a lot of shit for calling Dorit poor.
Poor.
I kind of loved it.
Thank you. I'm not mad about that because that's the level of petty I'm looking for. Because at the end of the day, she is not destitute by any means. Like it's not like if Sutton had come up to someone like us, people who literally have $50,000 of like student loan debt, and said, "You're poor,"
who are relatable.
That's not okay. Yeah. I'm poor. I'm actually poor. Okay, creditors are calling me.
And honestly, if Sutton said that to me, I'd be like, you know what? Compared to you, you are right.
Yes.
And I would come back even harder at Sutton because that's what you do.
Exactly. You cannot, like, I'm not going to feel bad for Dorit because Dorit was out here trying to pretend, trying to keep up with the Joneses. And we all, and everybody pretending like on that cast, like they did not know that. And finally, Sutton was like, remember when you were literally calling me an alcoholic? See, again, that's what they don't understand. No. Sutton calling Dorit, again, person that's not destitute, poor, is not equivalent to what like Dorit did, which was called, like, alcoholism is a disease. Yeah. And whether Sutton is an alcoholic or not, to casually make fun of that, and wasn't just Dorit, Kyle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Kyle. Not okay. And Kyle also thought she ate in the after show with like calling Sutton out. And I need everyone to fucking know that that's just Kyle's way of redirecting all of the negative energy.
Exactly.
100%. Like, don't act like all this saying it in the after show, saying it just in your confessionals. Like, say it in the moment. Like, right or wrong, like, stand by it. Don't refer to the fact.
It's those confessional gangsters that we like. I have, and Dorit's another one of those. So now, like, listen, I agree with you. Like, we probably can go on a whole tangent about Beverly Hills because you know how we feel. But I agree in terms of like, so I have been liking Dorit this season because like finally she, you know, was saying things to people's faces and not just in confessionals. Mm-hmm. And also too, like, I kind of like her going at Kyle. Like they had a whole, you know, allegiance to the Fox 5 or whatever they would call them. And they had their group and they had their team. And so one thing about Sutton is that she can come back and hit you with a low blow, but she literally is not starting it. And so Dorit has been starting it the entire time. And then Sutton comes back with something that hit her hard. All of a sudden, Sutton's a bad guy. So I'm sorry. I love it. I love my housewives to be filthy rich and out of touch.
Thank you.
And it's escapism. Like, come on, let's get over it.
Yeah, I thought it was to wrap up Beverly Hills section. Yeah, I just thought Sutton really reminded me of exactly the line in which I need my housewives to be petty. That's the line right there.
Yeah.
And I didn't think she crossed it. Sorry.
I don't think she went too far. Like maybe that's just us, but like Come on.
It wouldn't be the last a day with us the way that we.
Exactly. First of all, if Sutton is, that's like like the thing is, the same thing that everybody is getting mad about Sutton about is the same thing that people on Atlanta would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like on like not that wouldn't have probably even made it to air because it would be so like low, like on the totem pole of insults on that franchise. So
yeah, and then Erica clutching her pearls when she has a song, "It's Expensive to Be Me." Okay, and also wearing jewelry from victims. Let's not talk about Sutton.
Yes,
please
give us back the earrings. Like, and Dorit, we're not gonna be sitting here also clutching our pearls when you told fucking Teddy she was serving things out of the wrong goddamn glass. Okay,
yeah.
So,
and who has the same drink order at every scene that we see.
Carcass out.
Yeah,
Carcass
so let's stop.
Out.
And at the end of it, to your point, it's just fun shade where it's like, that's what we love to see. And Dorit knows by putting it out there, whether, you can't, especially if you're a concerned person or friend and you feel like someone is drinking too much or whatever, putting that narrative out there is very damaging. Mm-hmm. And, whether you want to believe or not that she has a career or where she gets her money, she does have a business, and
mm-hmm.
you know how brutal these people are on the internet. So like putting that out there is very dangerous. And I don't care what people say when they're like, what Dorit said was not that big of a deal for Sutton to go off.
Yeah,
and
it is a huge deal.
100%.
Personal attack. Yeah.
It's a huge deal.
And after knowing what her father has been through, like what happened to her father, like,
yeah,
I just know I have no comments.
Like, it's one thing if it came from a friend, right? If Garcelle made that joke, it would have come across much different. Like, y'all aren't friends. You can't just like make a jab like that and expect not to be called a bitch sometimes.
Exactly. It's just always those people that say something, and then when Kyle's the number one perpetrator of that, and then somebody says something right on back to her, and it's, oh my God, I can't believe you would say that. Bitch, you just said that shit. I can't with these girls.
Yeah.
Sutton, keep calling her Porri, because that's what the hell she is.
And it's funny, and I can't wait to say, name them, Porri, name them.
Oh, see, that's a little taste of the things that happen in our group chat.
Yeah.
But really quick, I know we're I'm not going to say how old we are, but we are at a certain age. But I have just gotten really swept up in this Bad Baby Alabama Barker mess, and I just need to know: have you guys gotten sucked in to that? Because I'm like obsessed.
I have not, but I felt like I saw something on TikTok about it, but I have not.
I didn't see how it started, but I've heard Bad Babies versus a couple times, and
I've watched that music video.
For her hard, and I'm here for it.
It was like Kendrick level.
It was good. You had a good rap.
No, it was good. Shirla.
I mean, they're both children, so like it feels a little, but
are they like trying to have?
They're not children.
They're not. They feel like children.
But they are.
You mentioned we're women of a certain age.
But we are too old to be in their business, but I cannot help it.
There we go. Yes. That's for it. That's for it.
It's so good. So it started with the fact that, obviously Alabama Barker has been cosplaying this like I'm Hood from her Calabasas mansion for years now. And they were friends, like Bad Baby and Alabama Barker. I learned all of this yesterday, guys.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I literally just learned all this yesterday.
And
the scoop is here. And so Bad Baby and Alabama Barker have been friends. By the way, Bad Baby has just finished battling cancer, had a baby, all these things, right? Bad Baby has her baby daddy. They've had like some up and down DV stuff. Like, he's not really a good guy, so but that's besides the point. He ends up allegedly having sex with Alabama, and Alabama and Bad Baby are friends. And by the way, like, Bad Baby is like, on again, off again with this man. And regardless, is girl code. Screenshots have been screenshotting. They have been calling each other out on live for like weeks. Alabama's running her mouth like she really can do something. Like, you don't know how to fight. This woman will beat your ass. Like be careful.
How do we know? Wait, is Bad Baby the one from that
Catch Me Outside? How about that,
Dr. Phil?
But like, have we seen her in fights though?
Yes.
She tried to be her mother, didn't she?
No, she is about that.
That's why she was on Dr. Phil, I think.
No, she's not. she's not playing. Like, she has pulled up on people. She pulled up on again. I was doing it while I was doing my makeup. I found a whole person that did a whole deep dive. I know all about her now.
Oh my God.
She threw something at Iggy Azalea once at a club. Yeah, no, she's not talk. She's going to pull up on. Like,
okay.
She's gonna do it. She's been in a tussle online. She's been on the Shade Room many a times. The Shade Room has a whole album for her. So yes,
Not a whole
Alabama,
album.
yes, Alabama Barker should really settle down because she's not. If she sees her in the street, she will beat her ass. But so they're going back and forth on lives. Mm-hmm. And Bad Baby is a rapper. Like, she is a successful rapper. I don't really listen to her music, but she's worth over $100 million between her rap career and her OnlyFans. And so I guess I think Alabama may have done the first diss track because Alabama has some ghostwriter, and she released a song that her daddy produced, Travis Barker. And so Bad Baby released 2. And the second diss track went really hard. She dragged all the Kardashians. Yes, she dragged all the Kardashians in it. She had a Travis Barker lookalike in the video. Mm-hmm. She talked about Soulja Boy, how Alabama got pregnant by Tyga and got an abortion. And by the way, people are saying Bad Bunny is not a person to lie. Like, if she's saying it, it probably happened. And they're dropping voice memos and text messages and all these receipts and stuff like that. The damn song has went to number 1, has kicked Kendrick Lamar's song off the charts. Like, bitch,
and you know how much I love Kendrick.
No, it's that good. Like, it's like I watched that song, the video. I was like, God, like, it was good. And Alabama Barker is running scared for her life. Scared. And she also sampled Kanye. Bad Baby sampled Kanye, and it got it cleared. And then Kanye had to go
by Kanye?
Yes, Kanye had to go on the goddamn live like he was being a hostage. Like, I did not know that when I said yes to letting Bad Baby do this sample that it was a diss track for Alabama.
Oh my God.
I said stop.
Wait, this is crazy.
The tea is great. But yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past 2 days.
So, yeah, no, I saw a little bit of that on, I think it was TikTok, and I just like scroll right past it because I was like, I don't have these people cosplaying as Black women. It bothers me so much. So I just flip on.
I see, you know what? I feel the same way, which is why I really did not know anything about it till yesterday. But then just because her song blew up so much, I ended up watching one little thing. I was like, what is this? And then, the whole For You page to start. Then I was like, well, the tea is hot. And she said a line that everyone keeps like doing a lip sync to, which she said something like, I'm going to paraphrase. It's like, bitch, you think that I would tell you anything? I wouldn't even tell you what color socks I got on. Like, it was like the way she said it, everybody was like, I felt that. Like, it was like I wouldn't even tell you what color socks I got on right now.
This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess
I love listen to it.
I love a little white mess.
Yeah. I love that too. That's why we watch Bravo.
That's exactly, but that's why I brought it up, because it's like the lower, like, it's still rich people.
Yeah.
Rich white people beefing.
Privilege.
And we're not in it. And I can, it was an escapism for me. And
I was about to say, we need a little bit of that, of what's going on in America, because it's quite tragic. So we need some type of escapism, truly.
Well, I hope you guys go check that out, that banger out.
I will.
Yeah, go listen to the whole song.
Right, I'm going to get on my TikTok right now and find it.
Right? Okay, so we got to warm up. You got to clue into what our group chat sounds like. So let's just get into Summer House, and I feel like we can breeze through the first 2 episodes because the 3rd episode is where it was really at anyway, right?
Yeah, agreed.
So let's see who's in the house right now. We got Lindsay, Carl, Lexi, the newcomer Lexi, and newcomer, is her name, what is her fucking name?
Bailey.
Poor
Bailey.
We gonna talk about Bailey later. We gonna, because I hear Bailey is gonna disappear.
I heard too. I heard she's been running her mouth.
That's what I heard
but
too.
She had some things to say.
Yeah, I heard she was like, when she would go home during the week in New York, she would like leak stuff, and producers allegedly like called her out about it. And I think she's just gonna stop appearing. I think she just stopped coming because she doesn't have a cat's photo.
They might have just written her off.
Well, the thing is, someone made a good point though, that it has to be that she's got on bad terms with the producers in some way because even Alex, who we barely saw in that one season, got a cast photo. Like, she has no cast photo.
That's a good point. When they writ out, Sal, poor Alex.
Yeah, I know. Poor R.I.P. to that man.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a chance.
It might be a clue for them to, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like, there's so many new people. And it's like, it's very hard to get to know all these new people every summer. And it's like, at the end of the day, we love our OGs.
Yeah.
Just so like you said, poor Alex, unfortunately forgettable. Like, I can't know how many people they brought into this house.
What's that one guy's name that was, I want to say he was Mexican, but I could be wrong.
Oh, when him and Danielle were dating.
Yeah, when Danielle decided to really be Puerto Rican that summer.
Yeah. When she was like trying to relate to Sierra. I'm also a...
Oh my God.
I know.
Actually, I was the first person of color. Since when, bitch? Yeah. I haven't heard you say anything about anything.
When it's convenient.
There's been a lot of one-season wonders.
Yeah. What's her name had promise, that one that was dating that controversial guy.
Samantha.
She had promise, but she chose wrong. She knows what she reminded me of? Sam reminds me of when Lauren didn't go to Paris.
Oh.
That's what Sam reminds. She picked that ugly pearl wearing
in her mouth.
Literally.
Butterface of a man.
But like, this also what bothers me so much. And so like, I tried to hear like, and I was like, oh, since we're doing this recap, I was like, let me just refresh my mind on like the first 2 episodes. I ended up just turning it off because like nothing happened. But what bothers me so much is like, Sam is not the only one that keeps going after these mediocre men. Like, you guys know how I feel about Bravo men. And
Sierra
it's like,
is prime example.
Benita on Southern Charm. And
Benita really...
Please, like, stop embarrassing me, please. And it's like, at the end of the day, I will never defend a Bravo man, period. But like, you guys need to stop embarrassing me. Like, they keep telling you guys who they are.
Correct.
You guys have the luxury. We've all been there before where, guys have played in our faces, but we don't have the luxury of looking it back on TV and having people in our comments calling us a dumb bitch. Okay? So we typically have our own friends. Or we just get over for.
I'm pretty sure you've definitely called me a dumb bitch.
I'm sure. And guess what?
That's what friends are for.
I love being a dumb bitch.
I'm pretty sure Shirla said that like to me 2 weeks ago in Paris. Like, you're fucking annoying. It's like, oh, okay.
And that's why you leveled up. Like,
exactly.
You're not dating these dumb men.
We need each other to call each other out. Like, that's what friends are for. It's not coming out of malice.
Yeah.
It's just like, we are just straightforward people. So it's like, it's just annoying to me that it's like, that these are fuckboys. You get, even if you haven't seen them on TV, like, they actually tell you, like, hey, I'm like not looking for anything serious. And then you get entangled with them.
Not entangled.
And then they're like, you get it. Oh, sorry. Entangled men. And then they don't want anything serious. And then you're like, well, I said I didn't want anything. I wanted something serious and he didn't want anything. Now he's playing in my face. And it's like, what did we expect?
Yeah. And I don't know I don't think I completely asked you guys about this. And I guess we're gonna just talk about it now, but like, I know everybody is like rah for Sierra in this whole Sierra and West thing. And I am, like, don't get me wrong. Like, to your point, I'm not going to be sitting on this here internet defending none of these trash men. No. And I don't think that, like, but the one thing I will say is I was completely with Sierra at that reunion. I completely was on her side with everything. And I think she was justified in her feelings about confronting West because he did kind of play in her face a bit, right?
Yeah.
I get it. And we all have been there. But to your point, Shirla, she had the opportunity to look back on all of that. And what is going to piss me off is that she comes into this house with the attitude she has to Wes, which I'm like, that's also fine. That's fucking valid. Fine.
Yeah.
Proceeds to make it awkward for the first 2 days. Does that whole big one for the speech at the dinner. And then has the audacity to walk her ass into Paige's room and say, but I kind of still might hook up with him. That's where you lost a plot. That's where you lost me, bitch. If I swear to God, if you do this, anything that happens from this forward, you're on your own, babe.
You're on your own. Like, literally, you are filming 3 days out of the week. Have that conversation with Paige in New York.
Yes.
The city, not the Hamptons.
But the thing is, she did that on purpose because she did it twice. And she did that because she's setting, because that is what she wants to do. And she has to breadcrumb us. She has to breadcrumb us so that when and if it does happen, we don't call her a dumb bitch. But I'm going to call you a dumb.
She'd offend her.
And it's just, because she's
with
doing
Austin.
Correct.
Oh my God.
And the thing is, this is Sierra's problem. This is what Sierra, and the thing is, again, we've been there, but again, you're on TV, girl.
I know.
You need to get your shit together. And you're starting to get a little older now. And I'm not age shaming you, but we need to level up a bit here and stop repeating the patterns, because we already did this with Austin. Everybody was on your fucking side with this. Not me and Shirla, not me and you. And Jaleeza, I don't think he was on that side either. We already saw through that shit. Yeah. And I'm absolutely not going to sit here and be quiet about it the second time, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Sierra don't even like West. Sierra don't even like Austin. Sierra don't like the fact that they dumped her first, and it's an age old, like, that is clear as day what is happening here. And that is why she wants to gain her power back, and she thinks it's by hooking up with him and then probably leaving him first. And the only 100%. reason why I think that we are people have been tricked into thinking Sierra is like a badder bitch than she is. And I'm not talking about looks, but like she doesn't take shit from men, is because when she came in on her season, she came in as a friend of Canadian Luke. And Luke was fawning all over, right? Look out there tapping for fucking honey,
right? Poor guy,
trying to build all the fires that nobody cares about.
He was just trying to build igloos and fires and get maple syrup.
To make a fire and chill and have a fun summer. And they call that man all types of names.
All types of names. And the thing is, I think the audience is having pretend amnesia, or they were just bamboozled and fooled, because when she came in, she was so unbothered by this man that everybody was like fawning over. Hannah made a whole embarrassment of herself for seasons over this man. And here comes this girl who's fresh, like new. We don't know anything about her. She came in as a friend of this man that like brought boxes of condoms in hopes that he was going to be fucking Sierra that whole winter or summer house, because it was like the COVID one, because they were not going to be seeing anybody else. So it was clear as day it was for that girl. And so when she was so unbothered and was like kind of had the ick for this guy that everyone thinks was so hot, we are all like, oh, she's a bad bitch. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It was the fact that she knew that she had the upper hand in that, and what her Achilles heel is when she does it. And we see it with Austin, and now we're seeing it with Wes, the most mediocre looking people I've ever seen in my life.
Truly.
And she's 100%. A model. And I'm sure that's why it bothers her. Like, she kind of went down and scooped from the bottom of the barrel for these men, and then these are the guys who are making her look like a fool.
Yeah.
100%.
But you got to stop it. Like, let's break that cycle right now and not get back into the West thing. Like,
and I don't. The thing is,
man,
I hope that she does. I really hope that she doesn't even try it, because the way that Wes's energy is, I don't think that he's going to try to hook up with her. I think that he wants to be done with it. Like, I really think that he's legitimately traumatized, and I hate to be dramatic about it, but like he did not like the blowback that he got. And I don't think he even wants to get close to that again. So I think he's going to try to keep it cute, keep it friendly. And I do not think that he's going to try to hook up, pursue, or anything with her.
But this is my thing too, of like what I can't stand about people outside of the OG cast. Like, people give Lindsay all types of crap. But one thing Lindsay can do, and we see it this season, is she can recover. It doesn't matter what you've done to her in the past. She will still go into the summer house like nothing happened, have a conversation with you like nothing happened, and go about her business. Meanwhile, Sierra, to her point of like, I understand, like, she should have all type of smoke for him. Like, first episode, second episode, confront him just like she did. And the moment he doesn't say anything back to you, be done with it. And like, West is like acting like I agree with you where, like, you know, Sierra, I'm like, you're pissing me off with like bringing this up and like being like, I want to hook up with him now after reading him for filth. Read him for filth, let him move on. But what bothers me about him, to where it's like, you can never really be on a Bravo man's side, and Carl's doing this too, it's like, what was me? I'm a puppy.
Yeah, like I'm not,
oh my
relax.
God. She's so mean to me. I can't even say hi to her or like go into the room. I can't sit next to her. Like, grow up. Please.
And that's why I was like, that's why I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and not going to sit here. I have to call out like her, what's annoying about Sierra, because I really just want, I'm rooting for her. I'm Tyra Banks we're all rooting for you. So we have to like call it out, but it's not because I'm like, oh, poor, like, I don't give a fuck if that man has a horrible summer. I do not care. I hope he does have a horrible summer. I do.
I want people calling him out the whole summer.
It just makes me, it's more of, it's just really hurting her. So I need her to stop that behavior.
Yeah. I agree.
It's just clear she's not over it yet.
No.
And like, that's the part. Like, I want her to be over it. Like, sure, let people make little side comments at Wes. Like, he needs to stop playing the victim, him and Carl. But like, you can just tell she's not over it. That there's still part of her that like might go back if he showed some interest. And that's where I want to be like, don't, girl.
Because the thing is that she still has that audience on her side. The audience still thinks she's a bad bitch. And
they will turn on
this will expose her. If she has one more failed, like, weird ass season with a boy that is way out, like, that guy is not, like, you're dating down, like you said, Jaleeza. Like, do not let him embarrass you again this summer. Like,
again.
And then the thing is, I actually don't think it's going to happen, because I in the previews that I've been seeing for like future episodes, it's looking like Jesse and Sierra might do it.
I feel like they want us to think that. Well, I feel like Jesse's like, he's being, because we all know that Jesse and that Lexi girl is not going to work out.
Like, well, yeah, there's clearly something happened in the middle of filming that went down.
Exactly. And so like, and I think, I could be wrong, but I think Jesse got to the point where he wanted to casually hook up with somebody in the summer, and Lexi was going to be that girl. And then all of a sudden, Lexi's like, I have boundaries. We need to look and have a relationship. And I think that kind of scared him off. And so he's going to do that F-boy thing where he starts to flirt with other people in the house. And then and the only person he can flirt with is Sierra.
I agree. I agree with that. Like, I don't in any way, shape, or form think it's serious. I think it was him self-sabotaging. And I know I've been seeing a lot of people online being like, oh, like, Lexi's too much. I don't agree with that. Like, for a person that young, I appreciate the fact that she's very open and honest of her expectations and her boundaries. And I think that's actually a healthy way to approach dating. And
I agree.
Jessie does not have to want that. And I don't think that the thing is, she's not forcing him, but she's saying that this is what I like. If you want to date me, these are what my standards are.
Yeah. I love that. I hope for Lexi that, like, when you speak that, now you need to enforce it. So don't then be like, when he doesn't, because this is where the fuckboy comes in, where he's just like, oh, well, I'm not looking for that. I just went casual. And then she'll just be like, oh, yeah, I want casual too. That's not what you want. So
I have a feeling, I mean, I might be wrong. We don't really know these new people yet, but I have a feeling like she will stick to her guns. She seems like a very confident person. And I know they've mentioned some of her dating history past, like she was dating Kaya Gerber's, I don't know if his younger or older brother. It's like it's like
Beckham.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shit.
Ooh, yeah. Brooklyn. Was it Brooklyn?
Oh, yummy.
Do not let this man make a fool of you.
Yummy.
Again, it's always those.
Have you seen those children? I mean, I'm not sure, but that family is beautiful.
A beautiful family.
I would have loved to be in that family. Like, adopt me.
Yeah. Yeah. Truly. I think, it's going to be interesting to watch. I know the internet has been raking her over the coal because they do not like her.
I don't know why. So far, I'm okay. I'm okay with. The thing is, when I saw Bailey, I knew she didn't like. You have I don't know how, when you see new cast members on any of the franchises, do you have this like guttural reaction of like just knowing like they're not going to be here next season? Because like just from that, like the first moment, you're just like, you don't have it. And I feel like Lexi has potential. I saw it immediately. Bailey, I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, she just doesn't gel.
Yeah.
And maybe because it's like, it could be the editing, but like we don't see her interacting much with anybody outside of Lexi. And it's like, you can't do that with another new person.
And even when you do see moments with her interacting, like she had a I don't know why they put this in, maybe because they just really had no footage of her, but like at in the third episode at Kyle's Loverboy DJing thing.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, and then she's weird. She's like, Carl, let's do like what is that dance called again? Like that little 90s, like I don't know. Like I was like, you're teaching somebody who probably actually did this growing up how to do that? That's fucking weird.
He was there.
Like he was there. You weren't even invented yet.
Yeah, like, he definitely invented it. It was very weird, and it probably. So I think I also saw like something on social media about that too, and it probably was like because Kyle knew that she's been saying stuff about the show, so then that was just like awkwardness there, where people are like, "Oh, she's coming back." Yeah, that to me that made more sense. It being like, "Oh, that's why that interaction was weird."
Ooh, So let's take bets. When do you think Bailey's going to disappear off of Summer House, like literally fade away?
Hopefully the next episode.
By the next episode?
I kind of think so, too. I think we're done seeing Bailey.
Yeah. Bye, Bailey.
Bye, Bailey.
I don't know if I'm making this up, but I thought she really only went for like maybe the first weekend. Like, I think it was pretty soon after that, she just kind of disappeared.
I think you're right, especially in the because again, like that event was during the week, so like it actually she probably was there for 2 weekends then, the first weekend and the second weekend.
Because Lindsay wasn't there one weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry, girl.
Speaking of disappearances, Gabby stepped your shit up.
She sure did.
Mm-hmm. Like this is Gabby's last season to prove that she can do this.
Yeah.
She started off strong to me in first episode, but I feel like I fear she is fading.
I agree. I didn't like the comment that she made about like why Lindsay is still here. I understand about Carl because you know how I feel about Carl. Mm-hmm. But like to say that about Lindsay's like, why are you here, Gabby?
Yeah. Like honestly, like, and I don't want to do this because I do like Gabby, but like
I do too.
You have kind of latched yourself onto Lindsay, so if Lindsay ain't here, why really would you be here?
Exactly, and then we don't see her interacting with the other girls
at all,
like
ever.
And I love how the other girls used to like give Danielle and Lindsay crap for like, you guys weren't so welcoming. You only hang out with each other, and it's like, meanwhile, you guys are in bed with each other.
I know, and let's not forget, again, I feel like I'm really going after Sierra, but like I have to put it out there, but
I'm with you,
Sierra, like you literally were talking down to Gabby last summer because she comes from money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so funny watching Sierra and Paige grow up before our very eyes, because Paige even makes a comment watching Lexi and Bailey at the 4th of July party, like, this is the first summer I feel old. And I think they're at the age of where Lindsay was when they entered the house.
Yeah.
And they are starting to understand probably how it felt for Lindsay to watch these annoying, young, loud bitches with all this buttload of energy running around the house. Just, you know what I mean? It's, they're probably finally starting to get it.
Yeah. I agree with you, like, in terms of, like, picking on Sierra. I really want to like her.
I do too, and I do like Sierra. It's just
I do like Sierra in certain situations, because I feel like with the West and Sierra bit, obviously I'm Team Sierra. I do like her friendship with Amanda and Paige, like she has their back. But I feel like I think the only thing that bothers me is that she's a little bit, and it's probably because I think she's still only like again, we're not picking on age because we've all been there. Like still, I think she's like 28 still. And I feel like she's still very male centered a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's only a girl's girl to her friends. And I think that is what bothers me about her a little bit, because like when it comes to Lindsay, when it comes to Gabby, and like Danielle can be very hit or miss. So I don't take, anything that anybody says to Danielle, because she could also be, I think Danielle is very similar too. Can also be very male-centered.
I can't stand Danielle. Like, I cannot stand that bitch. I cannot stand her.
Limited Danielle this season.
I think my whole notes are just about Danielle's appearance on the show. I didn't write a single thing down besides Danielle is awkward.
Very awkward. Talking about the break was good. You've been gone for 1 weekend.
Yeah, what do you mean break? The break's been good. Like, you always have a break because it's a summer house. And
also, you're not on this season. And yet you were only gone for one weekend.
That's exactly for self. So like there's no break because they just started. And you're lucky Lindsay is that loyal. And okay, I don't care. I am a Lindsay. I am a Lindsay apologist. I don't care.
But I need a drink of my coffee for this one. Please continue on your rant.
Let's hear it.
For all these motherfuckers that want to say Lindsay was not a good friend of Danielle, Paige, Amanda, Sierra, the whole fucking internet.
Mm-hmm.
She held in the fact that Danielle is the one who leaked that stuff to Page 6 or whatever about Craig, which did happen, by the way.
Yeah,
he did get kicked out, but it was Danielle who leaked it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. And that was when they were beefing. And Lindsay sat her ass on that stage knowing that it was Danielle and
got eviscerated.
Didn't tell everybody that it was Danielle. Tell me that's not a real down friend, because that's a down friend.
Yeah. You didn't go far back enough, Pia.
I had to start forward to go backward.
Yeah.
We're going to get there because I know what the fuck you're talking about, because it starts in the beginning of why I think that Paige, Amanda, Kyle, and Sierra wasn't even there, so I don't even know why she's like in it. But it starts with the whole thing of Kyle accusing Lindsay of being the reason for friction, even though it's his own actions. Okay, but bringing it up and stuff like that. When that was not, I have reviewed the footage. I almost made a video about it. It's somewhere on my phone. I went back and I found the evidence. And did Lindsay technically say something on camera? I will give you that. Technically she did, but I do not believe she was planning on making that a storyline. She said something to Danielle, and it's my theory. Danielle is a really jealous bitch, and she's very possessive of Lindsay specifically. And Lindsay had decided entering into the summer house that she wanted to work on her friendships with the other ladies. Danielle was not there yet. She did not want to let go of the beef. But Lindsay was very clear, like, no, I'm going to try to be friends. And she did do that, which is why she wasn't going to make the whole Kyle thing a storyline. Because in order to do that, she couldn't do that. Danielle decided to take that information and go running to Paige and saying, oh, Lindsay told me Kyle cheated on Amanda, whatever. Knowing Paige is going to have to tell Amanda. Paige did give Lindsay a heads up and said, you will have to tell Kyle or Amanda, or I'm going to have to. I'm going to give you 24 hours.
Exactly.
Which is, I get that. So it then centered it and made this whole big storyline. It made it seem like Lindsay perpetuated this thing, and that was not what it was meant to be. And Danielle got that going, and Lindsay was pissed, but again, didn't really throw Danielle too much under the bus.
No, never did.
She's been paying for that ever fucking since.
Ever since. Literally. And every time, that's why Lindsay never gets the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Every single time. It's like, even with the whole Lindsay and Carl situation, like, again, I know we're like going off a tangent about Danielle, but like, this is how I feel about, Paige has come around a little bit in terms of like the Lindsay and Paige relationship. And it's like, you guys are so similar. I want you guys to dominate together. Like, please.
Thank you. We've been wanting this is the thing that we've been wanting for years, because it's like this, you guys could be so much more powerful and more dynamic.
Yeah, 100%. But like the thing that bothers me so much about like Paige is not doing this much this year, but what they would do in the past, which they would, people like Lindsay's a terror, like she gets on my nerves because she's so outspoken. And one thing Lindsay is going to do is say the things to your face and not wait to a confessional to say it. Which, I love Paige and her confessionals are great, but that's what she would do, or wait for a reunion. And I feel like Sierra is still kind of doing that a little bit this year, where she's like, she'll be like asking Lindsay all these questions, and then being like specifically about like, the pregnancy. And she's like, oh, well, I don't know how to do math. That's pretty fast. And it's like, I kind of wish you would move on as fast, so we can get over this breast thing. It's like, why are we punishing a woman who got embarrassed on national TV?
Correct.
Broken up with. We've all know how much she's wanted a child in marriage. And, she decided, okay, I'm not going to sulk and cry. I'm going to move on and get the things that I want. And so now we're shaming her for moving on so quickly. And what is quick?
I feel like
he broke up with her.
To your point, it's like, Sierra, you literally, the way that you carried on about Austin, the way, again, I'm so sorry to pick on you, girl, but I have to.
Right. Sorry, girl.
Sorry, girl. I did not, I swear to God, I did not go into this thinking that. I really thought I was going to annihilate, I was going to annihilate Danielle in this, but we'll get to that.
She's catching strays.
Right?
Poor girl.
But the thing is, it's her own fault. Because the thing is that if we don't call Sierra out about these things, she's going to continue to do them. And the thing is, I don't want to continue to talk negatively or pick on Sierra, because I want, to your point, like you said earlier, Shirla, I like Sierra, but I want to like really like her.
Yes.
And there's just certain things about her that I don't think is being called out enough, and I think almost being praised too much. And so then she keeps doing it. And that's a prime example in the first episode when she's doing these like really low-hanging fruit digs.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think it's gonna quit, we haven't heard it so much in the like second, third episode, and I don't think we'll ever even hear it moving forward from Sierra, is because for the first time, Paige has gone against the crowd.
Yeah.
And has surprised everybody in how much she is enjoying the fact that Lindsay's genuinely enjoying the fact that Lindsay is pregnant.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Sierra's probably said one or two things, and I bet Paige was, again, probably not on camera, because Paige is like that type of friend. She's like, I think we should like not do that. Like, it's really nice that she's like, and because I haven't heard a peep out of Sierra about that since.
No, you're right. And it probably because Paige literally watched the episodes of last year, and like you can see, like they wanted so bad for Lindsay to be that villain, and it's like, and we're not Lindsay apologists as much as it may seem like it, and we will.
I think I did say that earlier, but like in a way of like, I'm still gonna call Lindsay out when she's like
100%. Like we say the same thing about Lindsay, like, okay, you're being absolutely nuts, but with the whole, Carl and Lindsay dynamic, it's like that man was set, like he did not want to marry that lady, and they should not have gotten married. Duh. We all know that. Yeah. But there's a way of dealing with it that he just did it poorly by, bringing the camera to embarrass her, because he didn't have a backbone to break up with her off camera. So he needed that public embarrassment of her. And I feel like Paige saw that. And I also, knowing that what Paige is going through in her current breakup and how quickly these Bravo fans will, even though it's like 70% women, which is insane and embarrassing, that all these, women are going to bat for men like Kyle, Carl, and Wes, and who's the other one that Paige was dating? Craig. And it's like, I hope that Paige sees that, like, they will quickly turn on you for Bravo man. And I hope she sees it has a little bit of empathy. And I feel like she does seem a little bit, to your point, closer to Lindsay now that she's pregnant. But I just hope she feels a little bit of empathy. Like, damn, we were too quick to just jump on Carl's side because everybody was jumping on Carl's side.
Yeah.
And now how I'm dealing with Craig of having to fight the wolves, for a man that they feel like, oh, we have to save. He's so perfect and all that stuff. And now she's the villain. And like Lindsay has been made to look like a villain for so many years. So I truly hope this will be an actual friendship, and like the reunion comes and she's eviscerating her.
Yes, I hope so.
I actually feel like this one is going to stick, because there has been times where I'm like, oh, they're getting along, and then here comes the damn reunion, and Paige has just completely flipped the script on us. Yeah. But I have faith in this one because of just summer already happened, and this was just last summer. And I've seen recent interviews with Paige, current ones, where she's literally calling Lindsay her really good friend. She literally she said she tasted Lindsay's breast milk. Oh. She said
that's real close.
She said she like I literally I'll find the clip and insert it. But she literally says like, she's like, my really good friend she's like genuinely not like, yeah, maybe like she's like, my really good friend Lindsay, who just had a baby, she let me taste her breast milk, and it tasted good. Like,
wow.
Like, I do love that for them.
Yeah, so I think
they needed to be friends. And
they needed
to join forces, especially, I mean, I know Lindsay's not single anymore, but like, with Paige being single and with what Lindsay's been through, I think
And I seen Lindsay jump on the internet and defend Paige, like when the breakup was announced and how Craig was moving. I saw some posts from Lindsay defending Paige, and then
as we know, Lindsay would.
And that's
again, she's a girl's girl. I don't care what anybody says.
She is a girl's girl,
accepted by these girls, and she's been wanting to be their friend.
I think that they really misunderstood Lindsay, and unfortunately, I think the reason why Paige, Amanda, Hannah, Sierra, they all really got along so well is that they all kind of are a bit stubborn, and when they fixate on something, like that's just it. And Lindsay is very, like, I guess Lindsay kind of, maybe I have such a soft spot for her because I'm very explosive too, but then I can let it, like, I'm like, but then like the next second it's like done. Like I needed to like have an outburst and then it's over. But that's not how everybody else operates. So that could be a lot for some people. Jaleeza's face is like, yeah. Yeah, it can be. Okay.
Friendship.
I'm working on myself.
I find it entertaining.
She's like, you're not the one that has to sleep outside in Bali.
Well, I have my own room.
It makes for good stories.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
Because truly.
but I think at the end of the day, there is a world in which that they all can work together. But both parties have to, like, Lindsay had to like kind of settle down on her end. You can't just be yelling at people, and they have to like let old shit go. Like, you can't keep holding Lindsay to somebody she was like 6 years ago. She is not that same person. And I felt like every summer they were like talking about something that happened 6 years ago. I'm like, what about today?
Yeah.
Today.
You made a good point earlier that it feels like Sierra and Paige and that group are going through the things that Lindsay went through in the past. Mm-hmm. So they're finally, so like now, you know, like Lindsay had multiple, sorry girl, multiple public breakups.
She did. She had multiple.
Yes. But now, you know, Paige is going through that. And then Sierra, which I hope she don't do, the storyline seems like it's turning to where Jesse's flirting with her. And there's another girl in the house that he also, that likes him. That is very similar to the Lindsay, Austin, Sierra dynamic.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was definitely going to bring that up. It's a repeating pattern.
100%. So it's like, it's almost like they're, in a way, I don't want to call it like karma, but it's like, it's a way of growing up. Like you keep being like, oh, I would never do that. And then you finally get to a certain point and it's like, oh, I'm actually doing the things that I never said I would do. Yeah. And again, they have the luxury of watching themselves on TV. So I just hope and Paige is already doing it, giving Lindsay a little bit of grace now, but I hope the rest of them can do the same. And I'm still not sold on Amanda because every time I think that Amanda is like,
I don't think it will ever be 100 with Amanda only because of the fact that she is so loyal to Carl. And he's so integrated in their business. I don't think it will. And again, I think it's still, Amanda is still really her. And I'm gonna be honest. It was really mean what Lindsay and Danielle were doing to Amanda when she first became like an actual official. Yeah, like it was mean. They were being mean. It's what it was.
100%. Yeah.
And
it's catty.
It was, and that was when Amanda. The thing is, I can understand a little bit of that resentment because it was like Amanda was the only. She didn't have anybody at that point.
Yeah.
So she was probably felt very exactly. She probably felt very isolated, and you know, so I can understand that a little bit more than I can with Paige when I can with Sierra. So it's that's fine. Whatever. Yeah. Just keep it cute though. Keep it cute.
100%. I don't know.
And with her Kyle connection, she's never, you know, Kyle and Carl are so close.
It's. I think that's
love it or hate it, right? She's always going to side with her husband and then de facto Carl.
Meanwhile, her husband is out here berating
maybe she
women.
shouldn't. Yes, but I need her to cut those ties and join the girlies.
Yeah,
this is where I could not be sold on Amanda because I'm just like, fine, that's your husband, but like first of all, Your husband, I'm sorry.
When you say, okay, just know that something about is prolific is about to happen. She said, first of all.
Like Big Brother. But first, what really triggered me in this episode was the fact that her husband feels so comfortable texting her best friend about her. None of y'all's husbands or boyfriends better ever feel comfortable texting me, because the way I go on Instagram Live and publicly embarrass them, like that should not, and maybe Paige didn't want to bother her, but still, like, not telling your friend that your husband is texting you bad things, like that is, I can't, I personally,
yeah, I was back and forth on how I felt about Paige not telling Amanda, because I'm like, was it because you were fearful that Amanda wouldn't, it would like get back, like turn back on you, like Amanda would like, because like think about the Hannah thing. That is one of the reasons why Amanda and Hannah are not friends. Although Hannah, I will say, her delivery was horrendous. And how she delivered it, what she was saying was correct. How she said it was the one part that was not correct.
100%.
Because you don't need to do that to your friend like that. Like,
but to not have an off-camera conversation about it, like,
or just be more respectful about it. Like, you can be like, he can yell at you all he wants, but he's not going to yell at me.
That was
she did eat her up, and it was all correct.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be your friend. And so
just like, it's like, and then also like this woman is in the middle of planning a wedding. The timing is poor, Hannah. The timing 100%. Is poor.
And also to your point, because I really like Paige. I really, really do like Paige, and like I feel like she is for her friends 100%. And so like in my mind, it's like I personally wouldn't have kept that from my friend, but it also, she knows Amanda better than we know Amanda. And it also could just have been like something like, maybe he wasn't actually, I actually believe he was talking trash, but it could have been more like, I actually solved the problem. Like, he came to me with an issue and he was probably going off about Amanda, and she solved it. So she's like, I don't need to bring that to her. And Amanda's not leaving him anyway. So like,
I feel like that's where I was headed to. I feel like it wasn't like she was sitting there like engaging and talking shit with him, or even like,
no.
I feel like it was like, my best friend wants to be with this person, and they've been through a lot, and she already knows that Kyle is like that. Kyle has like literally said this, talked and cussed Amanda out on camera. So she's already kind of well aware of what Kyle is capable of saying about her. She's chosen to be with him regardless. I'm going to support her in that. So I guess I can try to help mediate some of these small fires. And I feel like that's maybe the route she was taking. Like, telling her every single time is just making it worse. And and at the end of the day, Amanda's going to take that man back. So it's like
100%. Yeah.
And at least then it's telling her friend is a little bit better than like, because who knows if Paige didn't listen and be the listening ear for that, like, who is he going to go talk to?
Exactly.
Where else is he going to like?
Where is he going to embarrass
whatever he's saying?
Amanda.
He says it to Paige. She locks it in the vault, and hopefully, it's dead from there.
Yeah.
It probably was because of Paige. Like, that's why Kyle is now trying to be the perfect husband by coming home at 2:05 a.m.
That's a good point, Shirla. I bet that's something she said to him. Like, listen, you got to lock it up. Like, you're embarrassing her every summer. You're a 40-year-old man. Like, you got to stop. It's not cute for you to stay out with everybody at 2 a.m. Like, exactly. So maybe we come home a little earlier. Like, want to try that? We're not saying that you can't go out. You got to come home a little earlier. That's it.
Exactly.
It's like, I can still go out. I just come home earlier.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then you're the perfect husband. Perfect husband.
Love
the
that.
bar is very low. Like, just
it's in hell.
Come home at night.
It's literally, there's no bar at this point. It's just like
the bar
a free fall.
The bar's in the pool. Like, it's gone. Sunk it. Ooh. But no. I also
Let me sit back.
I just don't understand what this
Get
DJ
my blanket.
thing is. Like, what is this? What is this DJ
this
thing?
not midlife crisis, he claims.
Right. DJ,
like where are we going with this? Like, what's the goal?
I don't know. anything to make sure that Amanda doesn't get to focus on all her endeavors.
Did you see that she dropped her swimsuit collab line thing?
I did, but like the internet is like ripping it apart.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Ripping it apart. Do tell.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a couple of, but she's been going, talking to people. So a lot of people were giving comments of saying, because it's supposed to be for women with big boobs, and it's like just not fitting them correctly. But she's been very good at like, you know, getting in their comments and being like, okay, what are the things that I need to shift and change? And I also think the price point is getting to a lot of people. It's a little expensive.
What's the price point?
That I don't know, but I do know people. I think someone said it was like $150 for
like a
the
set.
Whole thing. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel like that's just the price point now for.
That's what I think.
Because I mean, I don't buy, like, the thing is, I personally have bought bathing suits that are like 50 or like 50 for like a bottom and 60 for something for a top, but because they're coming from like boutique places like White Fox or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't buy like a bunch. Like I'm like, okay, I like this one bathing suit, and that bathing suit lasts me for years. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're quality.
But like, are these expensive bathing suits from like, not they just launched?
No, they're like, that's the like White Fox's price point is like pretty consistent.
So yeah, they're like they've been around a while. So I think everyone's being like, okay, this is new. And so it's so expensive, and it's not like this is like perfect quality. So I think that's why people have been getting up and on. But I like.
She should have launched it at Target. Oh no, actually no. Fuck Target. We were not.
Oh yeah, we're not in Target.
No. Walmart.
At Costco. There you go.
No,
Costco.
Walmart's also a bad guy. Dude, yeah. Costco, literally.
Costco.
But
I can't. Oh, today, by the way, we're recording on a Friday, which is the economic blackout.
Yeah.
So, although this message will be late, I hope everyone did not buy anything today from any big business.
Yeah, I'm looking up. I'm not texting. I'm looking up Amanda Swim.
Oh, okay.
I mean, 150 if it really like holds up the girls, then like I could see it. But
the thing is, I agree with Jaleeza. If 150 to me is not a high price point, if it's fixing a problem in a market. But the problem is not being fixed. That's the issue. So like, it's like, okay, if I'm going to buy this 150 bathing suit, it has to fix the problem that I desire.
Absolutely.
And it's not doing
I
it.
I need everything to be high and tight. No, not bothering the neck, looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we all had high hope.
It's 160 before tax. So,
but also, like, I mean, I'm not a big boobed lady. So Jaleeza, we can really defer to you. But like, I feel like the bigger your boobs are, you have to get, that's when you get into the realm of like getting customized bras and stuff like that. Cause they don't, like, most places don't sell sizes for people who are like a lot bustier. And those tend to be more expensive. No?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I will say that. I mean, I've yet to meet like a triangle bathing suit top that, holds the girls comfortably and securely. So if she had figured out how to make that a reality, I think she'd hit the jackpot. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, straps and underwire are a busty girl's best friend, unfortunately. And so she's not, her body is really, it's something. It's one of a kind. Like, I will hand it to her, but like most busty girls don't have those measurements, that sort of ratio.
Sierra is low-key like that too. She has big boobs and very small.
Yeah.
Naturally big boobs, but also naturally small.
I agree. I think like y'all take a look at the website too. Like, I agree. I think she did hit the jackpot, but I think it needs to be. It needs to also look. They look a little bit like more like generic wise, and so I think people are like, I'm paying all this money, and it's like, it's not like, oh, that's a fire bathing suit, that type of thing. But
she has a cool style. Like,
she does. She really. But is it like? I'm like, does she have the best style, or is it because she just has a banging body, so it looks good in everything?
I don't just be because everything looks great on her.
I don't think that she has. To me, I don't think she actually has a great style per se. I think, but she has a really effortlessly, like, the way she puts things together feels very effortless. But she, but she still looks really good. Yes, it doesn't feel like she put too much effort into it, but it feels very put together. But the thing is, I would say that she does have an eye for her bathing suits, because Although like I think that I never like see anything that she's like wearing out. I'm like, damn, I love that outfit. I want to get that. Because I feel like more so that with Sierra or Paige, I'll see something that they're wearing. I'm like, oh, where did you get that? Like in this last episode, Paige was wearing that black and white thingy to Kyle's party. And I said, where's that from? I would like to, I would like to see more from that store. Couldn't tell you what Amanda was wearing, but I do notice Amanda's bathing suits, which is why, and I think a lot of people did, which is why people were like, why don't you do bathing suit lines? Because she has really good ones. Like that she like that's not hers that she's designed, but like she would pick really interesting looking ones out. So to your point, if that's not translating on her own now thing, it's like that was why people even made the suggestion in the first place.
I agree. Yeah. But I do think that she is on the right path of, you know, going to comments, seeing what people are saying about her, about the line, and being like, okay, we'll make that type of correction versus being like, I don't care. I want to make a swimsuit line to make money and I'm just going to put out whatever I want to put out. So she really is passionate about it. And I hope that it feels
if she was if she continues with this and she does make the corrections and she does figure it out, I do think because summer is coming up, she should have a limited edition Loverboy swimsuit to pair with the drink.
Drop.
Because I'm just saying, like, if she's still a part of that, she's still part of that company. Like, it would be like, let's expand your money, baby.
I mean, she's the one that made Loverboy. With her design.
She's the one who designed. Yeah, exactly. That's why I actually that's why I thought of it because I was like, she designs the cans and stuff. Slap that bitch on a bathing suit. Like,
and the merch, she does that. Like,
it could just be like, even the merch to your point, it could be so nice, but they should also, Kyle should let her have a whole event, and it's just like about her bathing suit. They'll have Loverboy there, but it's about her bathing suit.
Oh, absolutely.
And he does not need to DJ the party.
I would thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. No DJing for him.
But he probably won't because it's all about Kyle, and nobody can have any other business on Subway House but Kyle.
Thank you, because that's a perfect segue into Miss Paige and what she.
Lord,
yes,
another
Paige. Paige was. I was really happy she was speaking her truth. Because she's right. Like when we're at Kyle's Loverboy / DJ debut for the show, at least. Paige was actually pretty respectful about it because she kept it cute. She's like, I'm at somebody's event, even though you're pissing me off. I'm not going to make a scene because I'm classy. But she's like, why are you rage texting me all this stuff that I had nothing to do with? And I've seen, I don't know if she's going to get into it a lot on the show, but I know I've listened to some clips of Giggly Squad and interviews, and I didn't even notice this, but she's correct. She has never talked about her podcast on Summer House in all of the seasons that she's had it since she's like, this is the first season that they've ever talked about it. And she said she purposely hasn't talked about it because Kyle and it seemed like the rest of the cast were very much uninterested in her podcast and thought it was dumb.
Oh, wow.
And she said that to the point where she said to the point where there was like somebody had messaged her and said that they heard like Kyle was like making fun of it. She's like, I'm actually not surprised about that. She does not take that my podcast seriously. He doesn't think that I'm a business person because it's a podcast. And so she said, I've that for those reasons I've never brought it up. I've kept Giggly Squad and Summer House very much separate. I don't even talk about Summer House really on Giggly Squad. I have made it completely separate.
And that's why it's so big now. Good for her.
Yeah.
I love it.
So that kind of got me a little heated because Kyle's audacity to get so offended, so emotional when anybody has anything else, when they have been forced to drink that bland, basic bitch tea for about 7 years now, and we don't even get to watch them drink big bottles of Magnum Whispering Angel anymore. That's how they got me.
Oh my God, I forgot
good old
about
days.
that.
The good old days when they have big. I didn't even know you could get a bottle of wine that big.
And when another thing about us, we all used to live in New York together, and so like when I just remember when we would take trips, like not us, but like taking trips to the Hamptons. The reason why I was like, oh, I want Whispering Angel because of this show. So just like I completely forgot about that. Wow.
And because they're not allowed to drink anything but Loverboy. Like, and I've had a Loverboy. It's
I have not.
Okay. And I literally I have footage. When I talked to Zell about Summer House. Or what did I talk to her about? Did I talk about Summer House? I think I talked about Summer House. We talked about a lot of stuff on Bravo. Yeah. And that came up and I was like, honestly, because I had it when I went to Something About Her, because they carry it in their store. And it was okay. It was like, I mean, it wasn't bad or anything like that, but for the amount they have to drink of it on camera, I'm like, that's what you guys are forced to drink the entire time you can't drink and nothing else?
It's like when people always bring, when you have a party, what's that other seltzer that people always bring and like nobody ever finishes them? Yeah.
White Claw?
Oh my God. White Claw. Any of them. Both of them. Like White Claw is like, I just feel like that's how Loverboy is, where no one ever finishes it. And it's just like.
And it's just like, let's get to the point. Like, how many of these do I have to drink? These sugary drinks I have to drink before I'm going to feel anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I was like, they have to just drink this? They must be putting something else in those cans. Because.
Yeah. Or doing something else.
I mean, maybe.
We don't judge.
I'm just like,
throw a shot in there or something.
Because it's just like, it's ridiculous.
They have to be drinking hard liquor. No way.
Somewhere. Like, because. Yeah. So to get so like, and then that's why like when Hannah did, because I did see Hannah's clip when the whole, first of all, this is Kyle's own fucking fault for being so emotional about Craig having the little partnership with the other brand. Because also, like, people are allowed to get sponsorships and stuff like that. I get it. It's like, well, this is like, why can't you do it in any other field? But like, also, you don't pay anybody to promote
that.
to promote Loverboy. And they have been happily drinking it on camera for you for years for free, right?
Yeah.
So it's someone brings them an opportunity that's lucrative. Why should they then counter? Then like, okay, I would like you to only exclusively drink Loverboy and I will pay you this amount of money.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
It's business. It's business.
Yeah. And restrict anybody from an entire sector of like marketing and ads when that's what they do. Like,
they're literally influencers.
It's like he's the only person who wants to be successful.
It's like,
and they love to talk about Lindsay and be like, oh, she's gonna make a sponsored post. She's making money, but yet you can promote Loverboy all over the place.
Haven't seen anybody be upset about Madison's
right.
Clear Blue sponsorship. Everybody's done it. One of the Khadijahs did it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
These are how people want. They make so much money. If I could do this without doing a 9 to 5, I would absolutely do that.
Yeah,
take it in a heartbeat.
Even Carl tried to make a little
shade. Anyway.
Exactly. Carl tried to make a little shade at Lindsay on Watch What Happens Live because they played a little game where it was like, would you defend Lindsay or not defend Lindsay in certain actions? And for the most part, because he's gotten some media training, it seems. He was answering the questions correctly where he was defending Lindsay on everything except for the Clear Blue ad, because I think that he's also, again, I think PR trained. Sorry, I do. And I think he sees that everybody really gave her backlash. So I think he felt safe enough to like say wouldn't defend. But then Andy jumped in and it's like, because he's like, it's whatever she wants to do. I just don't think I would. And Andy was like, I don't know about that. Like, because he knows how much money those type of things. Like, yes, if you see the contract and you see what they're for you to just hold up Clear Blue and post on your write a caption and just a picture, not an ad, a picture, hold it up, say pregnant, and you get let's just say $50,000.
Yeah,
for 1 minute of my life.
You used it. You literally still used it. So I was like, I don't understand what everything that Lindsay does just triggers these fans. And I don't know if it's a little bit of like, I wish that I could be as bold. And so they get a little bit of, jealousy towards her. And it's just like, it's the same thing they're doing with Paige now. Like,
it's misogyny. It's still misogyny because the problem is the people that people really like hate viciously on Bravo, the women, are the people that are very like unapologetically brash or just they speak their minds and they don't try to sugarcoat it, right? And I've noticed that with Lindsay, Teresa Giudice, Katie Maloney, sometimes Madison. And the only reason Paige gets away with it is because it's just like Paige has a really way of finessing it where it comes out better. I'm not gonna lie. She had figured out how to say the same exact.
But the
thing is, I think Lindsay's funny too, but she has still figured out how to do it, which is that and make it palatable. And that is hard. But now, but the thing is, and the going back to like the backlash she's getting now, I don't think she ever thought she would get she would get the smoke that Lindsay, and she still hasn't really. But she caught a little bit, and she didn't think that she would ever get to that point.
She's still getting it too, because it's very much like Craig is like, how dare you turn down a man who's ready for marriage and kids, and he's so perfect and all that stuff, and God forbid she chooses herself. And so like they are literally upset at the fact that she's choosing herself. And Lindsay chooses herself in every single situation. And a lot of, women are just like, I never choose myself, so why should she? And so
it is jealousy. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think people are afraid to be themselves no matter what. And they and it's like, well, you're supposed to be like this. You're supposed to and it's like, you don't have to be anything but what you want to be. Like, and I'm sorry, you don't have the confidence to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, would they have preferred she just like be in bed crying all season?
And that's the thing,
that wouldn't have worked either. Like,
and because they would have
can't win no matter which way she goes.
And that's what irritates
well just,
me.
Like, do what makes her happy.
That's what irritates me, because Lindsay literally does it. Okay.
Do we all have the same triggers of like?
Because like the prime example is like when Lindsay and Carl first started dating. In order to support Carl's new sobriety, she stopped drinking for nearly a year. That was also a problem for her castmates. It was a problem for the Bravo fans because she wasn't being herself, right? She was like, she's to stop drinking for Carl. That like that's not gonna work long term. She never said she was not drinking permanently. She was doing this in the transitional period, in a weaker period where he's still learning how to be sober. And she was doing that in solidarity. She never said it was a permanent thing. But for some reason, that made her diabolical.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Danielle even said it too. She's not herself. Like,
it's like, okay, but then at a certain point, she starts to slowly integrate drinking, having a glass here and there. Oh, how dare she drink in front of Carl? Aren't you guys drinking wine right now? But I'm not in a relationship with her. But you're still his friend, and you're fucking doing shots and ripping shots, Kyle, like, and then outing him for doing cocaine. Like, just make that make sense.
But Lindsay's the problem.
But Lindsay's the problem. So it's like, it's one of those things that they just didn't want her, they don't want Lindsay to be happy in any aspect of her life.
No, they want her to be miserable.
She's like, Lindsay's not blindsided by Carl. Lindsay should have seen this coming. Okay. She accepts it. She moves on. She finds somebody else, and she has a baby too fast.
Yeah.
She should still be mourning her relationship.
Exactly.
Leave that bitch alone.
Exactly. Just like Sutton. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Let the mouse go.
Yes, exactly.
Even the men in the house. Like,
Jesse pissed me off.
Like, Jesse saw the first thing he says is like, how is Carl going to feel about this? Who cares how Carl's going to feel about this?
Yeah.
He broke up with her.
Carl lost the right to feel about anything when he called that wedding off with no security deposit being reimbursed to anybody.
When
guests included,
next week.
2 months.
When Carl took that filming crew to his family's house to film a scene, talk about how horrible Lindsay was and how they shouldn't get married. That is where he lost us.
Yeah.
Okay.
He absolutely
And we didn't even talk about Carl walking in the house all like, oh my God, how do I say hi to her? I have so much resentment for her.
Resentment? What? I said, bitch, resentment.
Go to therapy. Like,
you guys had an engagement photo shoot, a bridal shower. Bitch had a wedding dress, paid for everything. And then you said, nah, no thanks.
And you've been friends with her for 10 years. You didn't have any respect and decency to do that off camera.
I'm sorry. I will to this day. And I know there are people who are like, they signed up for this. They have to be able to be honest with you. No. I am sorry. I am not a type of person that watches a reality show in a delusional way. Sorry if that offends anybody. But like, I do think that, like, again, I don't enjoy watching people's lives get destroyed.
No.
And I do think that there are things that you're going to have to protect in your personal life if you're going to be on a reality TV show to have actually fulfilling, successful, full life. And I'm not saying, and I think Ariana did this perfectly, we didn't see like what happened on the night that Scandal happened. We saw the aftermath.
Exactly. That's how you continue the story. You tell us what is happening in the aftermath. Like you can't, to your point, you can't jump into like they're together and they're not together.
Yeah.
Like tell us how it happens, but we don't need to see how it happens.
That's not okay because like that's such a vulnerable moment. I can't imagine. And even the thing is, let's take the blindsided out of it because I think people are harping on that. Say you weren't blindsided. Say you had a gut feeling that this was never going to happen. Something was going to get called off. I don't think in any realm that Lindsay ever thought Carl would do it. That the breakup would happen on camera for the first time. In any, and like I just don't. I don't think that she ever thought I feel like anybody who like is in a relationship or even I'll just stick with relationship would ever think that your partner would do something like that, like break up with you. Like it's like it's for people who are not on TV, it's like your boyfriend, girlfriend, or fiance or whatever going into a room of your closest friends and family and just being like, "We're breaking up." What? Yeah. Didn't know that. Like that's what it is.
Or not only so they end with yelling into "we're breaking up" to your friends and family, but before that they go to each one of your friends and talk about how you're not getting along and just to prepare to lay the groundwork and then scream into a room. It's over. Like,
no preparation, no collaboration, nothing.
Like she was kind of the last to know a little bit. Like everybody else knew, like
even
the breakup was coming before she did.
It's like just have a little bit more respect for me. And like I do think that they would have, because they did, and this is where now contractually you got to talk about it,
right?
But I personally did not need to see the murder of your relationship live. Okay,
and I also hate the fact that like to your point of like they are caught up with the blind side. We have the luxury of seeing it on TV. So we see the conversations that Carl is having with all these people, and we see, them fighting and things like that on camera. So it's like she didn't get to see that. As they're fighting, she's thinking, oh, we're always fighting, or like this always happened and we've resolved it, or like he's still talking about how we're moving forward. So like it is a blind side when it's like 1 week you're still planning your wedding and then the next week it's just like it's off. It's over.
That's such a startling feeling to just have something like the rug pulled from underneath you in a sense. It's like, and especially like if you're like, I'm in the middle of planning my wedding right now, knowing how much work and like the details and the process, it would just be like so to me so crazy that all of a sudden we just weren't doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Like you just like in like the deposits, the thing, like it's a lot.
The week we're supposed to fly out for your wedding, all of a sudden it's like, this is not happening anymore. It's like, what?
And the thing is, it's not to say that I think that they should have went through with it because it's better to like, but I just think that it was just handled wrong, and it needed to. It was a very delicate situation that I felt like was not handled delicately, and I don't know why people cannot admit that Carl did not handle that correctly. Like
he could have done it in private. We know Lindsay would have called the cameras after the fact. She would have called producers. They could have had the girls sit down after the fact.
The woman's in a whole house with her ex-fiance pregnant. Like she would have called the cameras.
Exactly. So like he didn't have to be the one to do it. He wanted to be the one to do it.
He's a coward.
He is. Yeah. It's just so that man.
And that whole staged Kyle freaking lunch that he had prior.
God.
Oh, Kyle
that was a setup.
You want to talk about PR?
Yeah.
Kyle Cook. He was
Kyle
producing
hate Lindsay so much
because he's a bitch. He's a little bitch.
He wants to be her.
It is Lindsay. I've said this so many times. They are the same fucking person, but Kyle is a man, so he gets away with it.
He does.
Yep. Like, and then the thing is, actually, I take that back. They're very similar, but Kyle is much worse. And I don't know why people don't call it like the things that Kyle has done to Amanda alone. He would have done Lindsay. What did Lindsay do to Carl besides get sober for him for a little while? She did call him, accuse him of being on drugs, so I will admit that. But he was acting funny.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
So she did make it a point of, again, where that was in poor taste of what she said to a sober person. You just don't do that. But she did make a point of saying that a lot of us, don't know what it's like to be in a relationship with a person who's recovering. So you're constantly, and she has abandonment issues, which we've all known about Lindsay. And I'm glad it came out in, I believe it was this episode, but she's talked about it before. But as a reminder, she has abandonment issues. And also, too, we don't know what it's like to be with someone who's recovering alcoholic and all whatever, now sober. So your mind is constantly playing tricks on you because it's his behavior did change because he wanted to break up with her. And so in her mind, she's trying to finger point, why are you acting so different?
Yeah.
And why is it so over the top? And so should she have made that comment? No.
Absolutely not. And I was mad. And by the way, I was very mad at Lindsay for that.
Yeah.
Because the thing
so
is,
mad, we did not want that to happen.
No, because the thing is, to me, up until that point, I just truly didn't think that Lindsay had done anything to warrant the way that the fans were treating her in her relationship with Carl until that moment. And I was mad at her, one, because that's just, beyond import taste, even though we can, it was a mistake, but it was a mistake. And she apologized for it. And I just knew that was going to be something that not only the fans were going to latch on, and then later on, Kyle Cook latched onto. And
gross.
And I, to this day, believe Kyle is the one who was use that, Carl, to make you have everyone be on your side. Because when you call this off, naturally people would want to side with the woman, but it'd be it's because she questioned my sobriety. I'm in danger of relapse. He was making it seem like he's in danger of relapsing because of her. And I, to me, don't think that that's also fair. That's weaponizing your sobriety.
Yeah. I agree.
Because the thing is, he didn't yes, granted, he might have been keeping it in his resentment for her saying that, but I'm sorry, outwardly, it seemed like they had moved past that and it was not the problem. It seemed like that was something that he used as a weapon later on to defend some of the choices that he made.
Yeah, I agree.
You're a grown man. You're the one responsible for your sobriety. Yes, she should not have made the comment, but you also can't use that against her.
Especially when it seems like you had a conversation about it, you guys had moved on from it. So it's once you move on from it, you can't continuously. That's what I've always felt like once you've decided to forgive somebody in any way, continuing to bring it up to me is unfair.
Yeah. I mean, unless it's Amanda bringing up Kyle cheating.
That's the difference.
The difference keeps doing stuff.
Yeah, that's the difference.
He doesn't stop. That's the difference.
That's the difference.
You can continue bringing that one up.
That's the difference with that is the fact that I would stop bringing it up if you would stop doing it.
Yeah.
You keep doing it, so I have to keep bringing it back up because you keep doing it.
Very fair. We don't give Kyle any grace because yuck.
Ugh, yuck. So I feel like we did an overview of pretty much what happens. Obviously, Lindsay's pregnant in the house. Carl was being weird about everything. Cool. How do we feel about the new guy, Emil? How do you pronounce his name? Emerald.
Sorry, boy.
How do we feel about him?
He gives me it was a Jordan.
Oh my gosh. Shirla?
Do we believe the sex stories? Let's start there.
Jaleeza, I swear to God, I literally wrote this all down. I said, I don't know if you can read this, but it says it's giving Jordan.
Oh yeah, it's great handwriting.
Yeah.
Diplo.
It's giving Jordan energy. And I literally was like, do you think he actually does any of this?
No. Something I feel like he's trying to make a splash and he's trying to be memorable. And so it's just I don't know. It's hard for me
to be fair, I think he's doing a better job than Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's telling stories from the 40-year-old virgin. He's at least making up new ones.
Yes. Like, it was...
Sort of
but, like, his
God.
little giveaway for me that I was like, something about this doesn't feel like this is actually what he does, was when he was like, he had come into the house and Lindsay and some of the girls were like trying to ask him, or like, no, I think actually Danielle was like, so you haven't been in the house yet. And he was like, yeah, Kyle had, extended the invitation, but I was literally tied up. I was like, this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like if you have to talk about it so much,
mm-hmm.
then you're not probably doing it as much as you're saying.
Yeah.
And then, but then I was like, okay, maybe I am just really jaded from Jordan's season. Because then when he's talking about the Muslim aspect of it and him feeling like he couldn't talk about stuff for so long, it could just be like when you're a sheltered child, like you're not allowed to do anything, and then you go to college and you wild out.
Yeah.
It could be that.
Yeah, it could also be the editing.
I'm back and forth.
Yeah. It could just be like, maybe that wasn't his whole personality, but with editing, they were just like harping on that to make him different. But Danielle's definitely going to hook up with that man.
I wrote that.
Did you see how
I wrote that
she
too. I said, Dad
lit up when she saw him.
Are we writing your notes?
Danielle is going to try to hook up with him.
Yeah, that girl's going to be in his bed immediately.
I literally,
the moment she heard like sex party, like her eyes got wide. She was like, "Tell me more."
Yeah, and she's gonna want to come back in this house too.
Oh,
like
she's gonna be chasing this man around, guaranteed next episode.
It's gonna be like Winter House all over again.
Yeah,
it is gonna be. I literally was having PTSD from Winter House. But since we're on Danielle, because I want to end it on her,
your favorite girl.
Danielle, from the moment she entered the house, was so incredibly awkward.
Yeah.
Like, it was so clear that she didn't know what to do with her hands. Like, she was like, how do I move? Because she just kept on making references to like when Sierra comes into the house, she's like, there's a stranger in your house. Like, I got fired. Like, that was like giving, I got fired energy, but I'm here. Is it weird? Am I too old to be in the club? Like, that's what it was giving.
She was also
or like standing in front of the door when everybody came in, like, oh, I don't know you, new face. Like, girl, just go sit and chill.
She was very
cool. Like, too much.
I just felt like she was like, I need the editor. I know this. There's some footage out there somewhere. Editors, please do your job. Please show me the lost footage of her probably just walking around the house like, yeah, I once slept there.
She was. I was literally going to point that out because she gives that energy of like where like somebody has like a friend for a while and then you are introduced as a new friend, and so that friend is trying to lay claim, and so they're like, remember when that door used to stick? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Remember how we used to drink by that pool? Yeah, we don't do that anymore. Like, it's just like, girl.
Like, we get it. You used to be on the show, but you're not anymore because you're a fucking insufferable human.
Oh, shit.
Sorry. It's true.
We all know you. We all saw last season.
We saw last season. You had one good season because people hate Lindsay that much, but then you fucked up by going on Winter House without Lindsay, and we all saw who the fuck you were.
Oof. That was bad. Winter House was really bad. Justice for Jordan.
Actually, there's no more Winter House.
I'm supposed to be talking to Jordan tomorrow. Actually, yes, Jordan from Martha's Summer House, Martha's Vineyard.
When Lindsay Page and Amanda get their spinoff, Jordan can go there. Martha's Vineyard. Listen, that was tough because it's not like the Hamptons where they're able to drive out there, and not all of them live in New York. So having them all be in the house for 2 weeks is like, that was tough on that cast. Like, they definitely need another chance, but like, move them all to New York.
But the second season to me was so strong. So I'm so shocked that they didn't get a third season, because the first season to me was okay. So I was like, for them to get a second season, I was like, oh, okay. And the second season to me was so strong.
I was opposite. I was not. I felt like it got a little too, like their fight felt a little too mean in a way.
They definitely didn't like each other.
No, and so like that to me is like it was very much like, even like what happened with, who's the main lady?
Oh, I forget her name, but I know you're talking about. Yes, Jasmine. She was pregnant and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they were doing very similar to like how, we were talking about how Lindsay and then Danielle was doing to Amanda. And they were like purposefully just like not inviting her to things. And then they got into the house and she was pregnant, and then it's weird. And then even just like Summer was just not herself. Like it just like all the fight just felt very. And then who's the really short guy? I know
oh God, the one who's dating that one white girl who was very much annoying.
Exactly, like the girlfriend who clearly thought that she was better looking than everybody, which she wasn't, and just was very nasty. So it's like that type of energy was just like so bad to me. I just like I couldn't. We didn't need.
I get what you're saying, which is, I think one of the reasons why I did enjoy it, because I felt like the first season, because Jasmine tried really hard because she wanted the show to work so much, that I felt like she was, which is why I think a lot of people resented her. She was just overproducing things. So like it was like really hard to get into like stay in a groove with them, because I'm like, stop producing stuff. And Jordan would call it out, like, can we just have natural conversation? Like, we don't have to, like, what are you doing? What's all with all the prompts? And then she was turning into, which like, it's like Jasmine was showing her age in the first season, where she was like, she was trying to put mosh posh together every reality show she had ever seen in her 30 odd years of living, because I was like, this isn't the like real world, like back to Hawaii or whatever, back to New York, where you can call house meetings and vote people out.
Oh my
like,
God.
what the hell? Like, what the fuck is this?
And then
like, we're voting people out. House meeting. This is she was on the wrong network. I don't know what that's like. That's not what we do.
And voting them out when it was that other guy's fault was just horrid again. And he never, that's the thing. He never copped up to that. And then that poor lady got voted out. And
I know she didn't have a chance. And then
also, this is your best friend. Like, they lived in a car together or something, right? Like, they were like close. And it takes like one thing to be like, to vote her out. Like,
that's what I was like.
But to your point, like I was thinking third season they would have to let the drama go. That was going to be my test, because the reason why, to me, like Summer House works, Vanderpump Rules at a point worked, was that they could have these like really nasty beefs, fights, and stuff like that, but then somehow they were figure out a way to like come back together and have like fun again. So that was going to be
with Sierra and Wes, if they could have fun again.
No, the thing is, because
they were the engaged couple.
The thing is, I think it will be fine, because Sierra she is quickly pivoted and she is ready to get down with Wes. So I think the only problem will be is if Wes hooks up with somebody in that house.
Wow.
So
the drama. I mean,
we don't know.
I agree with Envy. I think it's a little hard for them to move on because of them being stuck in a house for 2 weeks together. Like, Martha's Vineyard has so many rules in terms of filming. And so they aren't able to go out like how the Hamptons house does. And I know the Hamptons house also ran into issues of throwing parties. So you're only seeing each other. So like, at least the Hamptons gets to go back to their lives, come back, and literally have a different experience every weekend. Whereas like, it's so unfair to that cast that they have to just be stuck in a house for 2 weeks. And like, they aren't able to move on. So like, either pick a different location, or why can't they also go to the Hamptons? Just like, because they also, Martha's Vineyard, I think, films later. I don't think they actually film in the summer. I think they...
Yeah, because I always feel like there's bad weather.
Yeah, like they're always cold. So just like, give them someplace that they can go, like maybe
they turn that into Winter House.
The Winter House is also, they film for weeks at a time,
That's
don't they?
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, the same kind of setup.
We got to figure out how to rework that. We got time. We got a whole season. We're like, how are we gonna get back Martha's Vineyard cast?
Yeah,
we're gonna figure that out.
Another chance. They had potential.
They did. They had potential. Mm-hmm. They absolutely had potential.
Most of them live in New York, so I don't understand how. Like, I feel like Summer House can graduate like the Valley. Like, you can still keep the Summer House format, but with the younger cast. But like, have them be like the Valley, because we are still attached to the OGs, and then have some of the Martha's Vineyard New Yorkers be there, because they actually hang out. Like, they're all friends. So it's like, why can't we watch them in their adult life versus us believing that they're at the share house drinking every weekend, which they could be, but
I don't know. I feel like the OGs are like Paige, Amanda for sure. Lindsay, like I feel like even Lindsay, like they're not trying to like stay up all night. Like that I don't know if it's new regulations in the Hamptons or what it is, but Amanda shut that party down. It seemed like before the sun went.
It wasn't even dark yet.
It wasn't even dark. I was like, oh, because back in the day they were well into the evening.
Yeah.
So
okay. Amanda love to get on that mic to say you can't stay here.
And it's over. Everyone can leave. Dessert wine is out. Like,
ready to climb into the bed.
Yeah, exactly. All of them.
No, I mean I don't blame them. It's like I'm tired. I've been doing this all day.
I don't know how they can do this every summer. And listen, I can go out.
When the check clears, it's probably a little helpful.
Honestly,
strong motivation.
And this is why I understand them being in bed, because on that show, I would be in bed. Truly.
I feel like me and Jaleeza would be the ones that are like sneaking out and being like,
it depends on the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in bed.
I feel like you and our friend Brittany, like Shirla. So I think Shirla and Brittany would be in bed. And we would have been in bed at a certain point, and then we'd have been like, "Do you want to Me and Jaleeza would be like, "Do you want to go to the bar?"
Yes. We would start off partying with you guys, and then we would end up in bed.
But then
you guys would sneak out,
and then I would just fall asleep at the bar, and I'm like, I should have just stayed at home.
Go home. I need to go home, and it's like literally 5 minutes after you got there.
I know, and then Jaleeza's like, "We just got here." I'm like, I made a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll be back in bed. And
like I just want to get it. I'm gonna Uber back. I'm gonna Uber back.
Yeah. I'm gonna Uber back to the city, like Charles. I'm gonna Uber back to the city.
I'm gonna go all the way back home. I don't feel like being here. Bye.
Look at your yacht and it's back in the city. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I decided I was gonna go home. I was done with the weekend.
Yeah.
You're like, I did $200 Uber. What happened? I don't want to film this show anymore.
Either I feel like if I was ever on TV, I would either I would just be an embarrassment mess, or I would be boring because I just wouldn't want anybody to know how crazy I am. I'm like, I don't want to be hiding from the camera. Like, I don't want anybody to know this.
I feel like I'd be like Lindsay, where people would just be very hot and cold with me because it's like I cannot control what I say. They're gonna hate me.
Oh God! Oh, we would get the villain edit so quickly.
Oh my God, so bad. This angry black woman is just gonna be
definitely would get the villain edit. I just know.
Not Jaleeza. Okay. Jaleeza would not. They would absolutely love Jaleeza. Like,
but probably just the first season. By season 2, I'd get the villain edit after that.
Yeah, I think that you'd be safe for a couple of seasons, and then you would have like one bad season.
Just have like a meltdown, and
I don't even think you need a meltdown. It feels like Garcelle, where it's just like they love you, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, she's not sharing enough. They'll pick on one thing and be like, like you don't even need to do anything. You're just yourself, and they just like because they want to turn on you. It's like that. So no TV for us.
No TV for us. I definitely have no urge to do reality TV.
Better off ever.
It's just like I just feel like you're set up for failure. Like at some point, it's not going to go well for you, and I just don't want that in my life. Like
no,
I look at us right now. Like I'm literally poor Sierra got it so hard for me.
Never.
And I like her.
But we are literally rooting for Sierra. Like we don't want a downfall for Sierra. We're rooting for you. And we know, because again, we are the Bravo audience, but we're like the good ones that are not going to go into, like, we're not ripping her to shreds and calling her like a disgusting person or all that stuff. Like, no, we're just like, Sierra, we've all been there. Stop letting these mediocre men play in your face because you're too beautiful and you're too good for this.
And smart. She's smart. She's a nurse.
She's a whole package, and she keeps falling.
I think that's what
we just want better for her.
Yeah, it's all coming from love, and it's like, but it's not in the same way that Danielle does it, where it's like, listen, I'm going to tell you, we're calling it out, but I'm going to let it go. Like if you go back to West, that's your problem. Like I'm not gonna. I don't care. It's just like I'm just saying I don't care.
Yeah, like I can't defend you in these streets if you go back to West.
I can't be there for you for that.
Okay. We will not be there for Danielle ever.
That woman I dislike.
She's
I dislike.
Very mean.
I dislike her.
I feel like the only reason why I actually liked her is because she was friends with Lindsay, and granted, she's still friends with Lindsay. But the moment that she immediately turned on Lindsay, I was like, "Oh, you're not my type of people." There's something.
It was so easy for her.
I tolerated Danielle. I definitely did. I didn't make fun of her when she was looking like a whole fool with Jordan and every other person. But
not every other person.
Has anything gone right? Anyway. I don't like her.
We don't even get it.
She's not good. She's not a good person. But she's terrible style as well. For a person that has a style
app.
A fashion app.
Yeah.
Like, where's the fashions?
Sassy show with no fashion. Tragic.
Okay. I'm feeling a little mean. Okay. I'm gonna come off of Danielle's neck. She doesn't have a job. So
here, please. She's a CEO of her app. Leave her alone.
The CEO of business.
Where is this app? Is it in the App Store? Like, where can I get it?
I don't know. Listen, I've always wanted an app like the movie Clueless. So the fact that she was able
Can somebody do that?
That's what she did. I thought.
Was she able? It's supposed to be that, but like, have we seen it?
I have not. But
is it a proof of concept?
She has concepts of an app. Okay,
yeah. I mean, it's good in theory
because I didn't see it in that. Because that whole episode that I saw nothing in when she had that launch. I didn't. Where was the app there?
What does it cost? I don't even know.
No one knows.
No one's gonna know. Nobody knows. I'm looking for it. Speaking of business,
I hope that she uses this break to give me the app.
She hasn't had a break. She only had one weekend for a break, girl. So right up now.
And how many more weekends are we going to have to see her? Like, is this a one and done?
Well, we're definitely going to see her next episode. And if she has it her way, she's going to be in a Emerald's bed.
Emerald. Yeah. So she'll be. What do you guys think about
other women?
Carl's business?
Oh, the brick and mortar that he shouldn't be doing.
The bar.
Well, its doors will be closed soon, I feel. Because the thing is, it's not that I don't like. I just think, and I talked about this with Zell a few episodes back. Opening a restaurant is really hard, and I just don't. I don't know. I don't think I don't see the longevity in something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know. It's a competitive market.
It's so competitive, and it's like, and you're making juice. And
that's my thing, like, and I saw some of the drinks.
Cocktail.
Yeah, I saw some of the drinks, and unlike Danielle, I did see the product, and I will say they're cute. I'm not going to be a total hater. They're very pretty.
Yeah, there's one.
It was like a matcha one, right?
Yeah, like it was like that was like a blue. Like mine had like coconut. It was
very pretty.
But again, no one's paying $23 to $25 for a mocktail. Like it's just like it's just too in this economy.
And then the thing is, like, to have a brick and mortar like that, like the difference with like Kyle's business is the fact that he can like do that from his like apartment. Like that's not something like because he has like distributors and all that stuff. Like he doesn't have to like be in a physical store to sell Lover Boys, right?
Yeah.
Like even though they're in stores, he doesn't need to be there. Carl, in order for a business like that, a brick and mortar, he's need that in the early stages is good. He's going to be there all the time. Mm-hmm. He has a staff of people. There are regulations. There are the red tape alone on that stuff, even for a very well established. Because I work at Soho House.
Yeah,
I see the people like we had the event space that we opened up that took years to get through red tape, like years, and they're an established company, global company.
Yeah.
The certifications that I myself as a server have to go through almost yearly is a lot that his staff will have to do. Like serve safe, all these things. It's just like, and I'm sorry, people can change, and I hope I'm wrong. But he has a real issue with consistency and showing up, and he gets bored easily.
Yeah. And also being in positions of like authority. Like, we saw like literally Kyle had reamed him out for like when he was like, the head of whatever sales department.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you can't lead a team, you now are trying to, when people are going to be like, I'm not making enough money, or just like, I don't show up. And if you don't have enough customers after opening night, like he's going to get a lot of, because he had like a lot of like influencers. Like I feel like he should have did the truck stuff first. Instead of opening it up. Like I think that's pretty cool. Just like, especially in, like Brooklyn summer, like, if you should have added some like acai bowls and things like that. Like, so it could be more of like health and wellness, and then take that, truck around certain stops and be like, hey, Instagram, I'm going to be at this part of Brooklyn.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
So it's like, and now you're
that's such a better and more sustainable, easy. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. And like, you could have a smaller team of people. Oh, that's such a great idea.
And Lindsay was trying to say that to him, like, instead of like, I'm sure Lindsay probably would have told him that because, like, as a PR marketer, things like that. But like, now you're going to jump into, I'm just going to open a store because you're on a TV show. Like, it's just like.
And also, I think this is a really great. So, Shirla, that's an amazing idea. And I should have said this, but Shirla is in marketing. And so like, that is one of the, this is her whole job. And that's such a great idea. I think that's so much better than having a brick and mortar, like in the rent alone.
Oh my God. In New York.
Like, I honestly think I'm not necessarily surprised that he's made it even this far, because I think the reason why he's made it this far is because he was just operating off of pure adrenaline to prove Lindsay wrong.
Exactly.
And how long is that sustainable?
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. And you were right when that man gets bored. So,
I think it's, to me, a very improbable leap to be able to say that he can run a successful business like that when he has not proven that he can even work at a successful business for long.
He can hold down a job.
Like, I'm so sorry. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, how many times
it's like me going to medical school. It's like me going to medical school, dropping out, and then saying, but I guess what? I'm a surgeon now. Like, you've skipped some steps.
Who shall I operate on? Like, who's going to be my first customer? Yeah.
Who's going there more than once, right? You go once to try and take a couple pictures. Like, who's going back?
And the thing is, it's like, well, he's on TV, like all this, like, that does not work.
Sustain your business.
There is Jax's Bar and Grill down the street from my house. There's that cricket's in there. Crickets. Oh, we went.
Did we go? Yeah, I was like, did we go there?
We went together. That was me and you.
And it was attached to another bar. Remember? Yes. We were like, wait, so this is actually not his bar?
And, like, something about her is doing really well. But, like, even that, like, think about how long that took to get up and run correctly. Shorts and Sandy's is closed.
Yeah.
But, like, again, easy. And being a reality star isn't enough.
No. But also, too, like, people were like, the sandwiches are actually good. And it's like, and you get your money's worth. I think that's very key. When they were having reviews, yes, they went because it's like, I want to support Ariana and Katie, but people end up staying because not only are the sandwiches good, but it was like affordable and it's like typical on par for those sandwiches. Yeah. So when you're just selling, yes, there's, people who are sober. And so they want to be able to socialize as if they are in bars that are not surrounded by alcohol. That's fair. But it's like, how often are they going to go into these establishments, to your point? And
what's the vibe? Like, is it that like cool? Like, I mean, I feel like you can get whatever he's selling at Starbucks for a quarter of the price.
Any Brooklyn corner at a health store, you could get.
It's just too like it's the competition.
Yeah,
where he's in New York. Like,
he's in New York.
You're in the city of a million restaurants that are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there's a need for that, but I don't know that he should be.
No, I don't know.
Bring it.
And is he partnered with anybody that could that's really knows what they're doing and that could help guide him? Or is he doing this by himself? Like, I have no idea. Like, he likes to waste money.
Right. And also too, like, he hasn't even had what was smart was the fact that, Kyle let him do the non-alc side. Why haven't you done that for a couple of years?
He's rushing everything.
Exactly.
He's taking, and that's Carl's fucking problem. He always wants to take shortcuts, and that's why he crashes out.
Yeah, because the moment it's not making any money, and it's like,
then he gets depressed.
And
he abandons ship, and that's why I say he likes to waste money. Lindsay is like, okay, you want to be an entrepreneur? Take this egregiously expensive seminar, sound like a Ponzi scheme to me class, and then did nothing with it.
Nothing.
Sat on it. Because I'm overwhelmed. This was a hard year because Kyle is such a mean guy. I needed to take a break.
Yeah. He buys him all that podcasting equipment only for him to never use it. And it's just like,
I would have been mad too.
$30,000 for a career coach with no career.
You wouldn't have been getting soft and gentle from here either.
Maybe him and Danielle do need to go back together. They have so much in common.
I actually think that Sierra liked this man.
What?
I feel like Sierra liked
it has given that vibe.
Sierra has been
in previous seasons too. Like this.
The thing is, because it goes back to what I said about Sierra. Sierra like chasing men that are not currently into her. Like, and for a moment there, like when I feel like she was at her flirtiest with Carl is when he was getting back with Lindsay.
Yeah.
And Carl, and I wasn't mentioning this, thank you for bringing this up. I have noticed Carl has been putting out feelers to Sierra. I noticed like when Sierra said that one stupid comment about his hair, which I now am convinced that was why he had that. Did you remember that little phase that Carl was going through where he was doing this like peacocky looking shit? Does anyone remember that? It was looking weird as fuck.
Now we know Sierra started.
I think it was Sierra.
It's her fault.
It was her
fault. Sierra.
Because it was like crazy. I was like, what the fuck is that? I'm going to insert picture.
You heard your hair looks good this way.
And picture. I just want to
the
scream.
Fuck was that? It's going to be where Jaleeza is. Sorry, girl. Fade it in,
Carl.
It's going to fade in.
Jaleeza not to Carl. That is crazy.
It's going to transition from Jaleeza to Carl. Jump scare.
I feel she has been, because she was very much like, she was quick to be on Carl's side. And and then the comment, she's always made these. And then like even when they were in the process of breaking up last season, unbeknownst to Lindsay, in my opinion, she was one of the first people to be like, I can't see. She said, I'm sorry, again, I'm so sorry, Sierra, but I have to say it. You said question about her even being able to be capable of being a parent. Everybody forgot about that, didn't they? You forgot it. It was when they all went to the Barry's boot camp right out. Oh my God, you were so right.
Sure did. I was gonna keep that one to myself, but it came out.
Very similar to how Amanda can't get over the Lindsay, their beef. Sierra is very similar because of the Austin situation. Like,
to this day, I think both women were being equally petty.
Yeah, I agree.
And Sierra, to me, Sierra only loses because she got physical.
Yeah, that was insane. Oh my gosh, that was insane.
That's the only, because I was gonna call it. I was gonna call it dead ass even though I would say that Sierra broke girl code, even though she's not really friends with Lindsay. It's just like a respect thing. Like Lindsay was talking to Austin first.
100%. And we had that whole like that, because I can't remember, was Winter House filmed? Is it filmed before Summer House?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so like that whole thing of like at Winter House where you knew that Lindsay was saying how she was interested in Austin. Austin pretty much friend zoned her. So like you were there for that whole conversation. And then, in the house, it's just like at the end of the day, this man is single. And like there's girl code, but like we are not blaming the man enough. Like this is like
she literally tried to be making it seem as if Lindsay like forced him into makeouts and forced him into all these things. And it's like he was a happy participant, babe.
100%.
Happy, willing participant.
And then
Austin is messy. Austin loves the mess.
But then at the end of all of that, and like you got physical, you then go back and you can hang out with him in Charleston.
I know. I was like, and then she goes back and she sleeps with him again. After that whole thing happened in Summer House.
Literally,
and that's why, and she's doing it again with Wes. And I'm telling you, you're not going to survive it if you do it again.
No.
Like people are going to start to lose respect for you. You're going to become, because I fear she might turn into Sheena.
Ooh.
no one ever will, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it just becomes like, that's my best friend. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? She's getting into that territory where it's she's going to sort of buy West a penguin. Like,
yeah.
No.
Well,
you can't keep making the same mistakes.
Unlike Sheena, because the thing is, the Sheena has never came off as very confident, you know?
Right.
Whereas Sierra talks a big game and then is just like, and then has so much smoke for other women when they do all that stuff. But then when she does it and these men playing her face, it's just like, you talk a big game, but all of a sudden you're like now are just weak for these mediocre men. So like that to me is where I agree with you that the audience will turn on her because they don't have a Lindsay who they hate. So like they hate Lindsay, so they have a common enemy to go against. But when they don't have that, and a lot of people are like, Wes, yuck. He gives everybody the ick now. But like they will always forgive these stupid problem men.
Yeah, Wes gives like Schwartz energy.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're like he's harmless. Yeah. He's full of shit. But he's gonna get and like he's full of shit, but you're like, whatever. He's like he gives me a laugh here and there. Like when he because I'm not gonna lie. When he was wearing that Mrs. Doubtfire,
oh my God,
that was the funniest thing Danielle has said in her life. I will give her props for that one. It was still a little awkward, but because because it's still like it's like the line on paper was good, but like something about it still fell off when she said it. I was like, but kind of like the line.
It would have been better from Paige.
It would have. She needs to be a ghostwriter. But when West and Paige, and I don't know who else was in the car, was coming up to the house, and they were talking about Jesse and Lexi.
I think Lexi was in the car.
Yeah, that's who was in the car.
Oh, she was?
She was telling them about...
she was in the back seat.
She was telling them about meeting the parents.
Oh, okay. So, when he said, do you think Danielle's going to say you guys are moving too fast? I was like, and then cut to, like, all of her looks and the judgment she was having about hearing the relationship between Jesse and Lexi and all this stuff. It's like, she just can't help herself. And also, she low-key was making a little, I didn't like that clear blue dig that she
you can make another sponsor pose. And again,
everything's so underhanded.
Lindsay can take things on the chin because she just like, I think so many things, she's so used to being insulted. So like so many things.
Like if I could figure out how.
What a great pivot, because for me, I don't think I could have hit it. Like I was like, bitch, I brought you back onto this. I brought your fire back onto this show.
This is why I say I'm Lindsay, because I would have also snapped back at her.
Because you already know all of the backlash I got on that Clear Blue ad for you to fix your mouth to say that in any way. Shut the fuck up. Yes, I would.
That lady, lady is this is where you don't be envious of anybody, but the way that lady is so strong, like I could never. The way that this fan base comes on her, the way that she could be at odds with everybody in the house, knowing that she is right. Yeah. And then you still have to wait for the show to air, the press interviews, all that for people to be like, oh, I guess Lindsay was right. For Danielle one season and Carl the other season. That's insane.
Yeah. I am happy that I'm happy that she's already Lindsay's to me. Like, well, again, it's pretty early. We're only 3 episodes in, so I have no idea. I know that there is, I think, a little thing that happens between her and Carl. I don't know.
Then I keep talking about her.
Exactly. Keep your name out of my mouth. Like, or my name, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it feels like this is going to be, I hope it is, the first season where I don't think that Lindsay is going to I think she's going to have a good season. I think she's going to have a good season. And I think, and I don't want to give Paige all this credit, but it does take someone like a Paige to help that along. And I think that Paige just really embracing Lindsay's pregnancy, even you had Sierra kind of being a little negative, you had Jesse being a negative, and actually West, I feel like West and Paige were made it. I think their energy towards it is what shifted everyone else's energy toward it.
Agreed. So they were ready to talk trash. Even Kyle, she's way pregnant than I expected.
Oh, absolutely. And I think them shifting, both of them, we needed both of them shifting that energy. It I think it made early on is going to make it be a good summer. And it's also going to prove that it is, because I know a lot of people, and I still kind of hear a little bit of chatter, like, why is a pregnant person in the house? And I think we're going to see that it is possible to do it and it not affect how fun the show is.
Yeah.
And I am actually very interested to see if that works out and if people change their opinion about Lindsay being on the show once the season really gets into, because I feel like we're picking up steam now.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it just depends on how the audience reads Carl, because like, you know, we naturally are going to get annoyed with Carl being the baby. Woe is me. And so I feel like he's going to continue that throughout the season as being like, this is so hard for me that she's pregnant and I still love her. And like, look at me. I'm able to do this. And unfortunately, because we know Lindsay, she is going to be reacting to what she sees that Carl's doing. And then that is where the audience is going to try to jump on her again. So
I feel like I'm trying to be a little delusional about it because I just want to be optimistic. I have seen, I will say online, I feel like this is why I'm leaning towards what I said. I've seen a lot more of people calling Carl out for some of this.
Okay.
I have seen where they're like, what do you mean? Like you do know you did break, like you broke up with her. Like she, like, what do you mean? Like, so I am seeing a lot of that, and I'm seeing a lot more creators talk about that, which I feel like was always crickets.
Okay.
I'm not saying hey, Rome was not built in a day, but like I feel like this for Lindsay, that I think like this might be the best she'll get.
Good.
Or she has gotten.
Yeah.
For Lindsay.
Yeah. For Lindsay.
By her standards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the episode, to wrap it up, the episode ends on Paige unleashing about everything that Kyle rage texts to her. She tells to Sierra. And this is like, by the way, we're like getting into where Lindsay's going to be, the heels of Lindsay doing her scavenger hunt for her gender reveal. And I love how Paige ends the whole episode when the credits are rolling. Like, and I'm going to say this, I'll let Lindsay's baby reveal. I was like, gender reveal or whatever. I'm like, typically I think I would be annoyed with something like that, but I think it actually is perfect. I don't know why.
Perfect.
Can't wait.
I think it's going to be so helpful because like I can see the audience being like, oh, why is Lindsay doing a gender reveal party? Blah, 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 blah. We don't care about this baby. And so it's going to be great. Having Paige add
I can't wait for it.
Yeah,
ooh,
I'm so excited for it. And also like, just going like, that's when we kind of talked about it a little bit. Like we learn about like him texting Paige about Amanda, which I think is inappropriate. We learn that this all is about Hannah too. And
I'm glad they're bringing up Hannah.
And I don't even think I actually finished my statement about it, but Hannah, I saw on a podcast, she had a Truly deal. Like the season, her last her last season, the season where she like freaked out and everyone like did not like her. She said when Kyle got really upset and belligerent, like Paige is talking about Craig doing the seltzer deal or whatever, that sparked and gave good timing for Hannah to go on a podcast and actually reveal one of the reasons why they had tension, which never made it to air, that her final season was because she had taken a Truly deal. And I've talked about this too. I'll insert the picture of her Truly deal. And that pissed Kyle off. That pissed Kyle off. So that's when I think the friction really happened. But we didn't understand what like changed with Hannah so much. Like, yes, we knew that she like was annoyed by Kyle and Amanda and all this other stuff, but it was like, it just felt like something else was happening and that was it. And that's what he was talking about, bringing things up 3 years later and got me fired and all this stuff. And there were people who, in the preview where they were reading Paige's text message, it said things like people deciphered it, like zoomed in, loved people of the internet. And Kyle has said, like, I didn't get Hannah fired. She had asked, what's his name? It was a producer. She had the lowest Q rating, which is like, Q rating is when you have audience rating. Like if you're likable, like that kind of determines if a network bring you back or not. And she apparently had a really low one. And I believe that because we all were like, you're crazy. So I'm not, but that's when Paige says in those like final moments of the third episode, he's lying through his teeth. She's referring to that because Paige to this day believes that he did get Hannah fired.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, I feel like that's why she's like, why are you coming at me? Like, I haven't even brought that up.
Yeah.
Now you're going to make me have to bring that up.
She's straight, kind of said it. She was like, you wouldn't make up with her at the reunion. Like, what do you think that means?
Yeah. And you also have their
Kyle
numbers.
to come for her. Yeah.
And for you to know that she had the lowest Q rating is indicative that you have a relationship with people that are in power, that have access to that, that have access to decisions. They kind of told on yourself there, buddy.
Yeah. Because
you were asking about it.
And also, too, like, Hannah she did not read well, like, in terms of, like, the whole Luke situation.
Yeah.
So everything that she was doing to Kyle, we all were like, we are with Hannah. So it was clear that you had something to do with it, Kyle, for her not to be back. Like, truly. He was like, I don't want this smoke again because, all the cheating rumors, all that stuff, like, constantly being resurfaced. And he didn't like to have an enemy in the house. And this is why he goes at Lindsay so hard. But he can't get Lindsay fired.
Yeah.
He can't. He can get Hannah fired, but he can't get Lindsay fired because Lindsay's an OG. So he doesn't like to have opposition in the house. And he knows that with Paige, that eventually Paige is going to come around because of her friendship with Amanda. And that's why he does it.
Yeah.
But like with Hannah, there was because Hannah and Amanda were not good. So it's just like that. There's no turning around there. She will always come after Kyle, and he had to get rid of her.
Yeah.
And we're Team Paige.
Yeah. I'm Team Paige in that, and I cannot wait
I love
for her
activated
to cuss
Paige.
him out. I can't wait.
My dream is having Paige on one side and Lindsay on the other side yelling at Kyle. That is my dream.
He's lucky.
Yes.
Kyle is lucky Lindsay is pregnant because that's probably the only reason why we won't get it possibly this season. And honestly, that's probably one of the reasons why Kyle, all of a sudden, because I know Kyle's one of the people who helped Lindsay do her maternity, like fake maternity shoot by the pool with like all the lover boys around or whatever. And because Lindsay's talked about that, and I've seen the picture of it, and that will be later in the season. And you made me. I'm really putting those pieces together. I feel like because obviously Paige starts calling him out, he had to probably quickly I can't have two of these bitches. So he quickly started being nice to Lindsay.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how Paige and his relationship has shifted to where Paige felt open to talk about her troubles with Craig with him. So
I was thinking the same thing because it's obviously they're good because Kyle has been a defender of Paige since the whole Craig thing. But it's easy to defend someone when you hate someone else more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
you know what I mean?
Deflect off of him always. Like he didn't bring up the fact that him and Paige had a tiff during the season. So it's like I'm sure he just came the next day and apologized like he did last time.
I'm curious if Paige let him know. Well, I mean, I guess she says it out in the open because I was going to say, I'm curious if he's aware of what Paige said in the bedroom with Sierra, like rage texting. But I'm sure she probably said that out loud too. So,
she might have said it in the argument, and
that's what I mean. Like, I think she may have said it out loud, so it really wouldn't have been a need to like it was already out in the open.
Yeah,
I feel like we'll find out next week. We'll see. We'll see.
Can't wait to see what happens at that table.
When the credits started rolling, I was like, no.
Yeah, I was kind of annoyed with
give it to me.
I was annoyed with this last episode because I'm like, well, this is what we want. Like, we didn't need to
They always do it. They always freaking... I think they did that the season where Danielle and Paige get into that fight at the table and Sierra throws that glass at Danielle's chest. It's not funny, but...
Yeah.
But
or even the Danielle and Lindsay fight. Like, they dragged that on for like...
I hate when they do them. Like, dang.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. But you know what? It's all right. Wednesday will come soon enough.
I know. That's very true.
Well, that was like, honestly, I feel like we covered a lot there.
Wow. How fun is this?
I know.
Great.
So next time we'll be a little bit more prepared.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys seemed very prepared to me. It was great.
I mean, you're easy with a great host.
Thank you, darling. But no, it's
just easier than texting.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I was like, we're just gonna do this all in our text thread.
Yeah,
I know. That's why I was like, you just want to just do this on the podcast? It's gonna be so much to talk about.
I know.
And so we're gonna do this. We're gonna recap. So we did pretty much a summary of the 3 episodes because we were, by the way, the reason why we couldn't start the season and do it episode by episode was we were in Africa when the first episode of Summer House aired. So we were in Africa for one of our besties got married and we were in the wedding. So we were unable for the first 2 episodes. So we were unable to do it. So we were like, okay, we'll just summarize the first 3, and then moving forward, it would be weekly if schedules permit. But you'll always be aware if they're not going to be available. I'll have someone else fill in for them, or maybe I'll do it by my damn self. I don't.
Yeah.
Irreplaceable. God.
Right.
No, I know.
Irreplaceable.
I mean,
took no time.
Do you leave a classroom empty when the teacher is sick? You get a substitute.
She said that we had the lowest Q rating, like Hannah.
She said, "Sorry, gotta go."
How about a good authority? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna bring Brittany in, who hasn't watched a single episode of Summer House.
And Brittany would do well too. Like she just would be like,
she probably would.
Hates her, loves her.
Like, did you watch the episode, Brittany?
No, I don't even know where Summer House is.
What show is this again?
Like, Brittany, you live in New York.
Welcome to Summer House.
I should do that. Like, have Brittany come on and just like not watch the episode and see how well she does.
Just literally don't even tell her what she's on for. And just like, she would literally just like, I mean, you guys are actresses. So it's just like, you're just like, be able to.
She's like, yes, Kyle, yeah. horrible.
Hate him. Love this call,
actually,
girl.
that is like, I am gonna have her on, but I'll have her on when you guys are on and see what happens.
Oh my God.
Please
Can we actually set 4 on the screen?
We'll find out. This is reminding us. This is reminding me of when we had. What was that app that like during the pandemic that we would do?
Oh, we had to.
Remember it was there was an app.
That app?
It's like a party something.
Yes, and everybody was in.
We had all the cocktail hours.
This was like what we would do. Remember, we kind of had a podcast, we just didn't record, and we would just be on this app. I don't know.
Now I gotta find it.
People would just join our room. Yeah, what was that?
Oh yes, that was so true. And that was crazy. We'd play games, we'd drink on there. Pandemic was a crazy time.
That was a time.
I was still in New York. Oof, what a time.
What a time. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for coming on. We'll see Shirla and Jaleeza back here for the 4th episode of Summer House. But before we leave, where can we find you if your Q rating is up to par, like I think it will be, people are going to want to find you. So, Jaleeza, where can we find you to keep up with you?
Yeah, so I'm occasionally on Instagram, Jaleeza L8. I really just post about my travels, but you can follow me there.
Shirla, where can we find you?
I too am on Instagram, Shirla Divine. And then I made a new TikTok. So also Shirla Divine, but like I think 007, or I forgot the name, but definitely Shirla Divine.
Don't worry, I'm going to put all of this information in the show notes and it will be popping up above your heads on the screen as well.
Oh, perfect.
Should we like come up with a tagline like to like leave? I don't typically do that with guests, but since you're going to be like regulars, like should we have a
what should the tagline be?
Something cute.
We can't.
Summer should be fun.
Summer should be fun.
It's fun.
This podcast's very fun.
Oh yeah, that's good. Summer should be fun. This podcast. Very
fun.
Very fun.
Okay, we'll work on that. We're working it out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I love this. Okay. Well, thanks, ladies. I'll see you back here for another episode next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Can't wait.
I told you my friends were the real deal. And I'm pretty sure I did not disappoint with that. This is just a taste of what our group chats are like. And I cannot wait for you guys to join our group chat for the rest of this season. So please feel free to do all the things, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you can get informed when we drop each new recap of Summer House. And also jump in the comments section and join the conversation because you're part of our Summer House crew too. And I want to thank my besties, Shirla and Jaleeza, for popping off with me about Summer House and letting the world in on what we discuss in private and making it public. So big shout out and thank you to them. And they will continue to be on this journey with us for the rest of the season. And thank you guys for listening, supporting, and I've been having a blast popping off with you. And thank you for your patience as I figure out this whole podcasting and schedules. I have so many I have like literally 3 podcast episodes in the chamber that I'm currently editing and releasing. As I learn and grow and understand how to put things out and all that stuff, I'm self-taught, y'all. Thank you for your patience. I promise you there will be a schedule that you can rely on coming up. I'm just trying to work it out. So, because I want to give you the best content I possibly can give you guys. And I just don't half-ass things. So I'm not going to just put a product up that's not good. So, but I am working out the kinks for everything. So thank you for your patience with me while I navigate this and your support. I really do appreciate it. And on that note, don't forget to follow Shirla and Jaleeza on all their platforms. Don't forget to follow me on mine. I am at PShaV on TikTok and Instagram. And if you want to email the podcast with any comments, things that you want us to talk about Summer House or anything, you can also DM me or email me at the podcast, which is Pia Pop Culture Guru at gmail.com. All of this, including Shirla and Jaleeza's handles, will be found in the show notes below. And until then, I'll see you next week where we recap episode 4 with Shirla and Jaleeza on Summer House. But until then, what does Pia always say? Oh yeah, pop off.